Yeah, keep me informed on the volume, folks. First true look at this game. We really don't know anything about it. You'll be seeing some hands-on rolling out, I believe, from folks at noon, which we can check those out. Man, they got quite the crew.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome back to Bungie HQ here in beautiful Washington, where we're coming to you live with the opportunity to share a little bit of Marathon gameplay with you for the very first time. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here, and we've got an awesome show lined up for you with a little surprise at the end that you're going to want to stick around to, so make sure to go ahead and not tune out early. But no need to worry, you're not going to have to sit here and listen to me. I'm joined by some of my teammates here at Bungie to walk us through some of what we're going to be seeing today. So, no time like the present. Let's get into the show. First things first, this gentleman here to my right, to your left, is Marathon's game director, Mr. Joe Ziegler. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you very much. Super excited to finally show something about our game, you know? We've been a little bit silent for a while, but we're hoping you'll have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, we'll have another video in addition to the one of just you in your office hanging out.
Exactly,
so,
yeah. I won't be talking for like 20 minutes straight this time. Yeah.
So for anyone out there that may not know you or what you do here, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
I work with a lot of amazing people, some of the people on this stage, a lot of people who are sort of in the audience here today. My goal is ultimately to take sort of all the ideas that we have, bring them together into a singular experience, and help to deliver that experience as a single thread. So.
Yeah, Joe was formerly on Valorant.
Thank you very much for being here.
So
today,
they swapped directors,
absolutely.
Mid-project.
As we go on down the line, we're also joined
Joe's
by
been
a man
there
who's been
maybe
instrumental in bringing the worlds of both
year and a
games
half or
and film to life.
Something like that, I think.
Our franchise art director, Mr. Joe Cross. Joe, how's it going?
Yeah, I mean, we know this game's been in development, big and small for something like 7 years.
Joe, for anyone, obviously you've got some fans here, but for anyone out there in the audience
in earnest,
that may not know
closer
you
to
or
5,
get
I'm
a
sure.
chance to work with you, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Yeah, so I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon, and my job is to sort of set the tone and the vision, the visual style of this
guy that's been cooking
IP and this amazing game, and then make sure that our world-class art team is set up for success. Paving the way a bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for everything. We're going to have a lot to dig into today, so thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
As we go right on down the line, we have, without a doubt, the most important Andrew on this stage here today, our gameplay director, Mr. Andrew Witz. How's it going, Witz?
Look at those
Witz,
shoes.
for anyone out there that may be just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the survival sandbox of
I think he worked on
Marathon's gonna be.
Siege.
So that's runners,
Rainbow
weapons
Six
and
Siege.
equipment, and the combatants, the UESC. They're going to be hunting players on Tau Ceti. So yeah, what up to the gameplay team? Thank you all for all your work.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past, and someone who's been able to help guide design here.
No, I was wrong
Bungie
about that.
Since Halo 3, the one, the only Mr. Senior Design Lead here, rather.
Oh no,
than
he
the
was
only Mr.
on
Lars
Rainbow
Bakken.
Six Siege. Yeah, he was. Till 2015. And Lars, of course, I mentioned, is one of the co-creators of
Lars the back.
Gambit, but Firefight.
Back.
You could. I'll leave that to you, though. Well, for anyone out there in the audience who may not get that reference and is just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Check out
My name
the
is
set.
Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now.
Senior
A
design
lot of
lead.
fans out there. So the Run team is consisting of, we make the maps, so the zones that you're going into, we make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in, we make them real difficult on purpose. And then we also have the contracts team, which are the factions, the corporations that players are sort of doing deals with because they're mercenaries. And that gets a little bit down into sort of the missions and everything. And so that's the stuff I hopefully make everyone proud with.
Well, we'll get into that here very shortly, but no, thank you all for starters all for being here. Before we get started as well, a quick reminder, do yourself a favor, make sure you've got your Bungie and your Twitch account linked to make sure you don't miss out on the Twitch drop that's going on right now. And if you also go ahead and subscribe to any channel in the Marathon directory, you can get a special little cat badge next to your name to go ahead and show everyone that you were here today. So go out there, find a streamer you haven't found before, and make sure and drop a sub out there and share the love. And also, if you have dropped your sub here on Marathon the Game, worry not, that money all goes to the Bungie Foundation. So thank you for helping us help them do some good out there. And now we have a big show again lined up. We've got some gameplay on the way coming up very shortly. We had a chance to go ahead and work with some creators and press very recently, and we're going to show you what they thought of the game. And of course, again, I'll repeat myself, but we've got something really great for you at the end of the show. So make sure and stick around. But again, the purpose of today is to show off some gameplay. Mr. Joe Ziegler, I'd love to hand the mic to you for this next part.
Yeah, so before we get started, obviously there's a lot to talk about today. We have a little bit of a taste to show you about what our game is about, just to kick us off, so we can put some images to what we've been talking about.
Here we go.
So let's take a look.
Kept us waiting, huh? Definitely has a sick look to it.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream.
Is that Ben Starr?
Now, run.
September 23rd. Wow. So this is their big September release.
All right, everyone, first things first, you saw that correctly.
Wow.
Marathon will be releasing just later this year on September 23rd, so you'll be able to ship out to Tau Ceti very shortly. And in addition to that, coming just later this month on April 23rd, we're going to be running a closed alpha test that you can be a part of. Now, as a quick heads up, this is going to be focused on North America, 18 plus only. So there's going to be a big chance to play up front, but don't worry, there's going to be other opportunities to play later. So to make sure you're caught up with all the details and you're ready to go, do yourself a favor, head over to our Discord at discord.gg/marathonthegame. And of course, if you're here in Twitch chat with us today, then you've already done yourself a big favor. Members of our community and moderation teams are going to be going out and looking for folks to drop codes to as well to make sure that you can get priority access when the alpha kicks off. So go ahead and keep an eye out on your inbox. There's no exclamation point drops or anything you need to do, though I'm sure folks will do it anyway. But worry not, you've gone ahead and done yourself a favor by being here today. But
I believe I did get those codes, by the
what
way.
did we just see?
A lot of death, you know, is first what we all saw. But honestly, you saw a first glimpse of some of what's going on in Marathon, you know, our extraction shooter that we're creating over here. And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some runners in there. It's got some weapons in there. It's got some crazy stuff happening, but yeah.
Yeah, a little taste of the weapons in there. You saw some alternate weapon actions. The flip scope is in there, so weapons are going to do more than just shoot, obviously. It's a Bungie game. We got to like really push things. Yeah, a lot of runner abilities are in there as well. The UESC, obviously a little taste of the UESC and what they're capable of. Yeah, a lot of awesome stuff.
And some fun world interactions too. Like there's that sequence where the shutters go down and then everything goes wrong for the team that's in that room. But that's, yeah, it's pretty cool to see those things.
Yeah, everything goes wrong in the Andy Salisbury story. Mr. Ziegler, so why are we making Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the extraction shooter space?
I mean, extraction shooters are something
Good
that are
question.
passion of ours. Like, we really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense survival-based experience where you are frequently unsure of what's going to happen next, but you're on that adventurous ride of it. You know, we talk about it sort of like it's a horror story that's kind of unfolding before you, and testing yourself to see if you can survive it. And we really wanted to take that and sort of I don't know, bring a lot more people into it. When you love something, you really kind of want to just, attract others to it, and so you can have a bigger party with it. And so, yeah, we've been doing a lot of work to make that happen.
Yeah. No, it shows. And, Lars, obviously...
Doesn't
Bungie's
answer
got a
why
long
Bungie
history
chose
of shooters, but this is a new
this genre.
type altogether for us to dive
I want to hear
into.
more about that.
From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
Somebody.
It's been fantastic. So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer team. And I am a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP. And so having to take that in the Marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings in, around, and on the other side of it has just been fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
It's been really exciting to see. And obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you do me a favor and help introduce these 4 runners that are going to be available when the closed alpha test begins?
Yeah, for sure. We'll have 6 runners at launch, but we're focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right, we have Locust. Locust is our soldier kind of fantasy, our soldier kit, all about push forward gameplay, right? The first one in, trying to get as many picks as possible, right? Against either the UESC or other players. Next, we have Blackbird. It's a very reconnaissance-based kit, all about figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning. Glitch is our agile disruptor kind of kit, all about pushing forward, disrupting enemy teams and what they're doing and getting out and kind of having that kind of cycle. Void is our stealth boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down smokes, going a full
4
active camo
classes?
cloak.
Did they
Into the darkness, getting some reses, and then taking some people by surprise. So yeah, this is our core 4 right now for
Very
alpha.
exciting. A lot of different play styles to choose from out of the gate. And even furthermore, Joe Cross, also, if anyone's not following Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been sharing some art with these runners pretty recently out there on Twitter with everyone. Before the show, we were talking a little bit, and I've heard this come up a lot, but you guys have been working off of this concept of graphic realism. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and what that means for the design here?
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've sort of conjured up to help us define the visual world. For these runners, the first thing we wanted to make sure was their visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well. And then we sort of have our unique recipe of influences and inspirations for the reimagining of this world. And one of those sort of constraints we've created is this idea of graphic realism, where we kind of reduce the amount of geometry, we limit our materials, we use a lot of graphic design and color, and we sort of use it as a tool to onboard artists who are working on the project. And then it doesn't hurt to have a world-class concept team cranking this stuff out. And that's sort of the origin of a lot of these designs.
And obviously the world of Marathon has so much legacy to it as well. As a kid who grew up playing it, I know it well myself. But what's it been like stepping into this world?
It's amazing. For art geeks out there, the sort of the father of the Marathon visual world in a lot of ways is this guy Craig Mullins, who you see art represented on the left. Started out as a fan. Then got incorporated into the IP officially by Bungie, and so his legacy looms super large. And we've always tried to, pay attention, pay homage, make sure we're doing justice. And you can see here in the center, this is kind of a proto-runner we developed early in the process to make sure that, our sort of approach to graphic realism and style lined up and sort of represented that. And then on the right here, sort of an evolution into one of our actual runners here, Blackbird. With a similar fantasy and composition. So I think it's working out well, and I think we're doing something new, but also sort of looking back.
It's like a 3-panel study on how to hold the spine, right? Is what you're looking at.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah.
Is it a spine?
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, that said, if anyone out there in Twitch chat as well has any questions, go ahead and drop them in. We're going to try and answer as many as we can. We're going to be showing, again, a lot of stuff today. So if you've got anything that comes to mind, please feel free to throw it in there. Folks on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out. But, we've obviously got a chance to go ahead and dive a little deeper. We've done some telling. Let's go ahead and do some more showing by taking a bit of a deeper dive into some more Marathon gameplay.
Let's do it.
This is live, Nathan, yes. As far as we know, yes, they're actually live at their studio.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high roll,
Ooh, weather effects.
Gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner.
There you go.
No 2 runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from the next big score.
Well, it's good they confirmed ranked play right away, you know, right out the gate. Again, this is, September 23rd, 2025. There will be a closed alpha test, as you saw right there, which I have some codes to give away for.
Let's get into breaking this down. So I think for starters, again, as we touched on before the break, Bungie has such a rich history with Marathon. Joe Cross, from your standpoint, facilitating this gameplay with your art style, again, what was it like kind of approaching this from your perspective? What were you looking to do?
Build on a legacy. The narrative of Marathon is incredibly rich and like inspirational, easy sort of inspiration for art. I also love just sort of having the keys to this car from this era, working on a game from this era. I love older games. I love the way the games look from the PS1, PS2 era. So there was a lot for us, and like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So
yeah. And also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think it's Joey Wolffinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was the narrator of that piece. Excellent ear.
Great voice, right?
Yeah, super cool. Yeah,
Wonderful voice.
He's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best. But all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one, Mr. Joe Ziegler.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite runner?
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the one I end up playing the most is Blackbird. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Any Blackbird mains out there? I like playing Blackbird because it's a great crew runner. Like, it's in terms of being able to provide a lot of information, provide a lot of support. It's also a great runner that's kind of helps to counter a lot of strategies that can occur, especially ambush strategies that happen. Also to catch Void out of position if Void's trying to hide. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility to how you can play it.
Very fun. Mr. Witz, I think you and I share the same main. I got to ask as well, who's your go-to runner?
Oh, I split my time between Locust. I'm a very push-forward kind of player, as Joe reminds me all the time, because I'm pushing too much, too often.
You don't even have a W key. It just goes.
I just love to go fast forward. That's right. Yeah. And so, that push-forward gameplay that Locust kind of has, right? Being like the first to try and get a pick, seeing somebody out of position, going for that pick. Also, I like to play Glitch a lot too. Again, I really love that disruption playstyle. I love just finding an enemy crew trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then taking the arm cannon and just knocking them out of the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal mechanics inside of the game, but it varies. Your effectiveness varies per runner.
Yeah, everything in we're making a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so if you want to go fast, Locust has a super sprint, so to speak. They have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That
Thank you very much.
Heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where the body overheats, and so this character has some mobility, but you overheat quite a bit. So that's kind of the cost that's there, and so that's what pushes us into finding implants that maybe expand how much your heat meter, and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure. It's how does this affect the pace, and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, we have a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, and actually, while we're talking about kind of those finer details, Witz, I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. In Marathon, build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are building?
Yeah, and so the runners are essentially a base, right? And so each runner has, they have a bunch of implants that you can kind of find that do kind of wild things, and as they go up in rarity, right? There's a lot of stats, so you can increase your resistance to certain things. So Tox is one, so you can essentially be poisoned, right, as our Tox, and so you can build up resistances to that. You can increase your agility. There's shields, obviously, to make you a bit more durable. We have cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you extra passives. And at the base rarity, they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around. At the highest rarity, they are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can you're doing one thing and then you get like a chord specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like, that's how much we want to kind of push that, so that gear really matters. And so builds are like completely the implants, the cores, weapons, weapon attachments. Weapons have like a pretty cool progression too. We have gold mods, which are kind of like the highest end of the attachment pool. They're essentially like exotics in our game, right? What is the exotic version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff? So yeah, like really it's the entire package together.
Yeah,
is
like,
what the build crafting experience.
I'm wondering how much they'll show. Like, that's what I'm wondering. What is
Actually, to that same end, we got a question
the
in chat as
reward,
well
that
from,
you
I think,
feel
Pyrex
like
is how you pronounce it.
I want to go
How
back.
many
I need
players
more
are
of
gonna be
this
in
that
each
I
map?
just earned.
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map.
Got it.
The footage that people
it
have
said
seen a
up
lot
to
of
18
Dire Marsh,
players.
We support up to 18 players.
Excellent. Okay.
On that
That's gonna
one.
be
Sounds
a
like they
lot
have
of
some
playstyles.
smaller maps.
To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well. Lars, can you walk us through maybe just
don't know
your
why they didn't
playstyle
just
when you're
say.
approaching any of these runs?
Sure.
It's only
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and sell
around
it.
the corner for
Give
the alpha,
away my
you know?
secrets. So Void is really fun for me because it leans into this part of my personality that is like very devious. And so, if you go on a run with me, I'll be like, hey, any claymores you see, let me know. And I'm putting those in my backpack, and I'm doing crazy things like, okay, so Void has a prime ability that sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base when you do that. It's a portable. Because when you go in that, you become invisible. You get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another. So a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? If someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time. But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot and I'll claymore it up and then close all the doors and leave and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later I see the shield crack in the HUD and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah. How about you, Joe Cross? What's your go-to?
Well, if you know me, I'd rather look good and lose. So I generally pick the runner with the coolest helmet, and in this lineup, I think that's clearly Blackbird. As far as my play style, I'm typically just a decoy. So
It's like, Joe, go over there.
yeah, exactly. I am
Look
the
really
worst.
great. Over
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Just stand in the open
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah.
So that's the end of my run story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of play testing here internally. Witz, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when I think I'm going to be doing one thing, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do a contract. I'm going to be going here. I got to go into this room. I got to interact with this device. And I think it's like I'm safe. Like I'm kind of doing like a routine thing. I can get in and get out if I'm like smart about it and really kind of listen for what's going on. Like there's no UESC around. There's no players around. And oftentimes there's another player. Like the best moments is there's another crew that are going for the exact same thing. And there's this moment of like you're about to turn the key to get into a locked room, and then the other team is right there, and you're like, oh crap! Like, and then you're like, this is all-out war in like a hallway that seems to be like a regular hallway, but now it's just like it just gets crazy. And so I think those are the peaks that happen where there's these tense moments where you're trying to do something that lead to these very quick crescendos where these mercenaries kind of going crazy, and like all these players are jumping in.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
Listen, the tactics are happening fast.
Okay.
They're
It's
going,
just processing
they're
now.
going, like, yeah, the math is going. Like it's happening.
It's improvisational, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like, runs can obviously entail a lot, but we also have a question from Sharky218. Is loot going to be just weapons, or is there going to be more for people to go after while they're out there in Tau Ceti?
There's a ton of them.
There's a ton of
them.
them,
Yeah, there's implants, there's cores, there's equipment,
Consumables.
there's
Grenades.
Consumables. Yeah.
Talk about grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades.
I mean,
We have a bunch of different types of grenades in the game as well that you can loot in the world. We have valuables, we have backpacks, attachments, weapons, materials, keys.
and there's
Materials
a
for
bunch of
crafting,
stuff, too,
sounds like.
that we're just we call valuables, but like there's times when you're running low on money and you're like, I just need to do a valuables run right now, and I need to pick up these things and get my money, you know, into my space bank. So.
Space Bank, yeah.
You know, that actually is a good segue from, and I'm not making this name up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was related to sort of our factions and contract system. But if you want to talk a little bit about that, Lars.
Yeah, I mean, we've got this entire system we call factions. You're doing contracts, they're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by AI representative because you are a mercenary. You know, don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you'll run into danger.
Bounties.
But the cool thing about, I think, a lot of
Your
the
daily's
faction,
done.
the contract
Your money's-
system is like, you could complete the, you know, download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing, and you've sort of done it. So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where as you're working with the different factions, they allow you to upgrade yourself over time. And so you can increase your heat meter, you can increase your loot speed, things like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you're trying to get as much loot as possible to meet the challenge of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially, you know, different missions get harder over time, right? Which means you want to have more loot on you so you can survive longer, you know, so just in general, be able to do, like, you know, fight all the different, you know, hostile entities in the world, like get through there's a POI on a zone that's heavily fortified by UESC, and all of the different units that are there, the snipers, the assault units, like, you want to be able to not only withstand that and players. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to get loot in the game.
And honestly, like, a lot of the loot translates into things like upgrades, you know, that you utilize through the factions. But there's also an in-game store called the Black Market, where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out. I don't think I'm ever short of reasons to get loot out.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore and maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing to make them easier to dive into?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that we could talk about. One is we are obviously investing, besides doing a little bit more onboarding in the front end, so players can understand a little bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make combat something that's a little bit more approachable, but also just equally as deep, and have pretty wide things. But I think Andrew could talk about it, yeah.
Yeah, we want to make, like, this is like a Bungie shooter, right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We like nail those fantasies. Every button press feels awesome, right? And so really trying to bring that kind of, like, morph the Bungie action game into, like, in the survival space, where, again, everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, like, you're not going to have like a limb system where, like, you know, your limb's broken or anything, but you will, like, guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game. And so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're gonna be toxed. You can be immobilized, right, which really slows you down. You can be overheated. There's all these things, and that pushes you into using consumables and making sure you have an answer for these things that happen. So we're trying to make sure that you keep the depth of the survival game, but the approachability of the action game, right? And so that's how we're trying to marry that together. In addition to that, if you have some bad runs, right, like, and you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down, we have the sponsored kits, like it's kind of talking in the video earlier, where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment, or maybe a shield or something, or consumables. That's kind of like the floor for what we think you can be really, like, you can be capable in the environment and actually, like, fight other players that actually are kitted out. So you're never feeling like, the goal is that you can always clutch, even if you find somebody who's completed kitted out in, like, really high-end gear, because that's your payday, right? That's like the beauty of the moment of, like, oh my God, I took this player, and oh, they have the best shield in the game. Hell yeah, you know?
Yeah. Hurts. I mean, obviously, going to be a lot of good pointers for folks at home taking notes for when they get a chance to get into the alpha. But we'd be remiss if we also didn't mention how a big part of what we do here at Bungie is working alongside our community, which is why we've also had the chance since about 2022 to work with hundreds of different creators in our community as well, to go ahead and get some of their feedback. So to those of you out there that have joined us, thank you very much for your time and your opinions. They mean a lot. But no need to listen to me talk about it. We actually just last week had a bunch of folks in here to go ahead and play test the very same alpha build that some of you will have a chance to join in on as well. So I vote I go ahead and let you tell them about it in their own words.
you kind of feel the blood pumping.
Got him, got him, got him. Down them all again and 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 again.
This is a new world. This is a different take on an extraction shooter.
No! No, they got out!
It's game changing. It is literally game changing.
"40 creators and pressed playtest the alpha with the entire development team."
You are the first group outside of Bungie.
So yeah, sounds like we get to hear from some of these folks, who I'm sure many of these folks will be having a lot of hands-on and videos going up, I would assume at noon.
Look daddy up, let's go.
Okay, I am ready and up. Whatever you two are.
Is there? Oh, we are bringing some money in this time.
Quick read.
Oh, you looking around? See
Yeah, I'm
who's,
gonna see who we're gonna read with.
Alrighty. Bio research is right next to us. You want to do the intercepts?
Yeah.
You just want to grab that real quick?
Yeah, I mean, certainly has
You want to get going?
some of the DNA of Tarkov. There's no doubt
should
about
be a
that.
good one.
But as you heard from them, kind of
I didn't actually. I've not been there yet.
scaled down in a different way. And then, yeah, you sort of
okay.
look at it, you see
So, for the gang, there is fall damage, and it is
certainly
severe
some
if you
There
drop.
is. I got a mod
that
earlier
Bungie look
that,
to it.
Drastically reduces it though. So there are ways to reduce it.
I may have just exploded my kneecaps.
If you dash right before you hit the ground,
When you hit the ground,
don't take
it saves it.
damage.
It'll break the fall, yeah. Happens to the best of us.
AI on the right. Yeah, more AI inside the the little shrubbery compound over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I was watching the footage, I mean, I still have to process a lot, but I felt it had some, Call of Duty DNA in here as well as, the Bungie, Halo, Destiny
Okay, still heading the field.
vibes. It's certainly way faster than when you look at something like Tarkov.
Oh, I got AI over here like crazy.
Oh my god, he didn't jump up. Are we killing them or ignoring them?
AI with a snipe up above is looking at me.
I need some bits ammo. Guys, follow me. There's a green punk
I
right
got
there.
There's 36 underneath.
Oh yeah, here I think.
Player. Down one.
I hit one, pretty sure, but I'm
Down two.
Oh, that's cool. So there is third-person cam on the shields and probably some other weapons.
That's all of them. Right. Look at the damage of it. Actually, you want to do the 18D? Right here. Red looks like they're
Either
Yeah,
way,
I was
I'm
gonna-
getting shredded right now, so I
Let's
gotta
clear the one, clear the AI.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting in that,
They're just gonna beam us.
it's so fast moving in some cases in these moments, and it's like, but you have to get the bags.
That's a purple one.
Wait, the one that's at fire like 5 knees. Oh,
Big Grenadiers, yeah. They're
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
great. What do you have on your little guy?
oh, one of the guys.
Yeah,
who
like
killed
watching
us,
them
weapon is on him.
and then
Poor guy.
looking there, like grabbing loot. Those two things don't process in my mind right now. Where how fast it's moving. I'm like, how'd you know you were gonna be safe? But there is only up to 18 players, and maybe whether that's limited to 6
We have the
teams
mechanics
or not,
here,
I don't
doesn't
know.
take anything. You're just good. Yeah.
Because you can play solo. Earlier
I'm unlocking the box.
they kind of said this in a way where it made it sound like there's smaller maps.
Big ones,
Obviously, up to 18.
They've got long shots in 2. Oh, yeah. That's gotta be.
I'm doing one shields. There's a loot up there, who's absolute. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. I realised.
Where are they?
They're on the balcony, like south 200.
I got one knocked. I got one knocked.
Nice.
Ooh, somebody snuck up on him there. Dang, the shield.
Annihilated, dude. Oh my
On
god.
me. I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, I would say it to self as
Oh,
you
yeah,
can.
there's a sniper, there's a sniper.
Freaking no! It's a Brian! Kill him, he's a fiend, dude.
I'm coming to you, Ben.
Yeah, I see him. I see him. I see him.
Don't
They're circling
underestimate this guy.
Oh my god, that's it. He killed 2, I think it's 1v1. Ben, you knocked 1, I knocked another.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's got, in a way, it's got that Trials DNA of like, you know, they're up to 3 people on a team, and then you've got revives happening and keeping count, right, of how many of the other team is down.
The knock I had was way over here. I don't see anybody over there yet.
Oh, good. Ping system, yeah.
He's been quiet for an awful long time, I reckon he's gone to res.
Oof.
He's right there. He's right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me if they rest.
That's okay. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
It's like getting shot will not knock you out of that res. That's nice. That's always the worst feeling.
Right, this player. I mean, very weak up there. I'm underneath.
But yeah, for those wondering, I do have 10 North American priority access codes. I'll be giving those away once we can catch a breath here.
Knocked one.
Probably just use like a
They got one
Nightbot
up.
raffle system.
I take shots on the right side, like usually.
No, if they're close.
I got no tags. Oh.
There.
You got eyes?
Yeah, A1.
Oh, is that him up there? Is that him up there?
Yeah, I mean, Nightwing in chat saying this seems way too sweaty. I mean, I would expect it to be, but these are also the top end of players, and this is how they play. I am curious, yeah, where is
They were shooting something in here.
the casual, you know, we'll hear from them. There's many folks I know in the press that played it who are not like super sweaty. So what do they think of it?
I think they kind of built a ringer group, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
They built a God
But,
Squad.
but this is just kind of the
I feel like
genre,
we
you
might
know.
be the God Squad.
That was good. That was a good run.
Yeah.
We got knifed some AI and grabbed some gunners.
Yeah, Michael's saying it looks or feels maybe like a better Apex. We'll see if it feels like Apex at all. But
Container key. Isn't there one of
it
those
certainly
guys?
has, you know, DNA of all that stuff. Definitely, you could certainly say in that case, Michael, like kind of a little bit Arenas mixed with Tarkov. But, you know, I see Call of Duty and Destiny and all of it intermingled a bit.
I knifed one.
That person's very confused where those bullets were coming from. It's gonna be me day one.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
snap.
Yeah. Something's sucking me.
Stop sucking him. It's a purple shield.
UESC reinforcement signal detected.
I found a purple enemy. I heavy knifed it 4 times and had to dump a full mag into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay! I don't want the
Yeah, dang.
conquest. LMG. I should take it, but I don't want it.
But here, take
Oh,
this.
long
Take
shot.
this.
Yeah, I believe codes
Okay.
do come with like, you know, +2 for friends.
What's the
So
question marks again?
That
That
is
are
a
on the
good
map?
question. Oh, I think those are the players, right?
Huh? Like
Like
this?
the cash players?
Yeah, I don't know.
Flares, 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 flares.
Ponton, I haven't really said much about it because we're watching it right now, so you didn't miss anything. But yeah, no, in short, I mean, it looks interesting. I guess it kind of...
Purple shield, I knocked one.
It looks like what I expected, but it's much faster than I was imagining it because it being an extraction game. You know, it seems like they want those loops.
Found him.
Prepare for increased hostile action.
Glitch is moving, glitch is moving.
Behind, yeah, Glitch is behind you at the moment. White shield, white shield.
Oh, she's scared. She's scared.
Down, down.
Very good.
Very, very nice. I called the purple.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you're going to have to play. I mean, we can speculate all we want.
Who has that?
Are people liking it? I mean, obviously, in people that you trust, that'll
big drops, the stuff that's like
go a long way.
Value,
Like,
you're like,
Lupo
I
only
have
plays
to get this
Tarkov,
out.
but he's been working hand in hand with Bungie for, you know, a decade.
There's no other extraction shooter like
Just in
that
general.
where I can
I'm
have,
not
like,
saying
gameplay.
that he's not honest.
Find
It's
out
just
about some of the secrets and stuff.
he's
they
part
are
of the
going
project
to
as well.
lose their mind.
Playing so far has just been refreshing, I'd like to say. Everything felt really locked in.
This being sort of the next full Bungie experience is an exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to play more.
Said you can watch extended creator highlights.
It's a whole lot of fun. Getting to
Where
work
did it
with
say we
both
could do that?
creators and players alike has been a privilege. It's been a great time getting to set that up. And of course, I promise I'm not saying this just because I work on the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel, we have a full 20-minute version of that. So youtube.com @Marathon
that's
Games
where-
where to find us. Also same with all of our other socials as long as I'm at it. But Lars, obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our community really closely, but have we ever done it this early or at this scale before?
So I've been at Bungie for a while now, since the Halo 3 days, and I think the thing, even since my time, we've been really good about is working with players, working with the community. It's something we take pride in. And on this game in particular, yeah, we brought people in, players in, much earlier into the process than I think we ever have before, and it's given us really good insight. You know, we tell them when they show up, be brutally honest, because that's how we learn, that's how we understand what needs to change, what needs to get better, and I think it's been really great.
That's been a ton of fun. I mean, even again, like these folks were all here last week. You guys were in there with them. Some of you playing as well. What was it like?
Oh, it was super exciting. Yeah, I mean, like when you have a lot of there was a combination of players who we've been engaging with for a long time, and some players who were brand new, and it was great to see sort of like the mix of the both. Especially when you got to some higher level skilled players who just joined in and immediately got it and started destroying everybody, like like Tens and Lupo was in there, and but yeah. Yeah, you had some pretty awesome moments, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like, apparently he was on the team with Brian and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were like destroying them, the creators. And, yeah, it's probably your team that was destroying them. So I was brought in as like a hired gun to help get Jeff through, and
thank you.
I did my job.
Mission accomplished, Lars. Yeah.
Something that he's used to, obviously. Also, though, you were saying you were observing a little bit as well, maybe not playing quite as much. What was it like, from your perspective, getting to see all these folks jump in and play the game for the first time, some of them?
I mean, it was awesome. It's awesome, like, playing the game for so long, right? And seeing other people play the game is just a great feeling, right? For, like, the whole team. You get to see things that you designed for happen and in real life, right? You see people who are like being hunted by other players that take refuge by like we're a heavily fortified area, and watching the UESC equalize a little bit. Moments like that was great. There was another fight that was like it looked so fun, but also hilarious, but also like really like it was like a great time, but also really tense. There was two there was 2 crews that were fighting under the dire marsh map. There's a bunch of tunnels and stuff like that, and they were fighting in the tunnels, and the fight was literally like almost 1 by 1s, like 3 and 3, like constantly moving towards each other and fighting in the hallway. The person in the front dropping meds for people in the back and changing positions, and that fight went into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like, it was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether you were going to get third party, and they were just the volume of the room kept on going up from those 2 crews because they were just like, where are they going to get flanked? There's another vent right there that could pop up from there. And they were shooting vents just like out of just pure paranoia. It was awesome to watch.
It's a good balance to strike, obviously, yeah. And you, again, we were mentioning you got to play. Were there any other creators you got to dive in with?
Oh yeah, I was on a team with Valkyrie and Katamina, and we had a lot of fun. There was like a couple moments where we bunkered down underneath a greenhouse in the tunnel.
Again, I do have 10 alpha codes. We'll be rolling those
we
when we can get a breath here.
More nest down there, and so we were baiting them down into it, and yeah, it was pretty successful. I'm telling you,
We're gonna use a keyword in chat that I will be giving you.
Yeah.
Lars is like, I know.
Yeah.
So, you know, even in addition to these,
Make sure my
creators,
closed captions are on,
you know,
actually.
The legacy of Marathon's community goes so long goes so far rather. You know, as someone who's played a lot of Aleph 1 in the past as well myself, back on my Titanium G4 PowerBook so long ago, bringing in the Aleph 1 team was really, really exciting. You guys had a chance to work with them as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting to sort of connect to the heritage of Marathon, right? Like to keep that alive as we're sort of building this new world. And so working with the Aleph 1 team has been really awesome with the Marathon Classic on Steam. Is the release that they had, as well as the Marathon Classic 2, I think, is on Steam as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of those, it's like sort of connecting the threads, if that makes sense, you know? Sort of remembering the past as we're sort of building this new, re-envisioning in a lot of ways of what Marathon is.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on this topic as well, about the dangers of the world, we do have a question from Twitch chat. Are there dangerous PvE encounters? Obviously, you've mentioned that the UESC is out there, pardon me, and you should underestimate them at your own peril, but can you tell us a little bit more about maybe some of those emergent threats that await players?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the UESC security units that are out there. There's a bunch of different types that do different things, so watch out for them. We also have ticks, which are these wonderful, surprising, explodey fauna. Yeah, they run at you. They run at you, explode on you, and you have to shoot the nests actually to get rid of them essentially. Otherwise, they'll keep coming. And there's a bunch of hazards and stuff that are like gonna be on the map as well. Like we have a bunch of like tox rooms and all kinds of surprises that await players. And yeah, in the alpha there's a few, but
what's the scariest UESC unit to you?
The scariest unit? The Ghost Commander for me, for sure. The Ghost Commander, their ability is like they go into active camo and they actually have clone. They have a bunch of like clones that go out there, so you think you're not sure which one to shoot. And then by the time you recognize which one is actually the real one, right, it's like it may be over for you. But that's one. The sniper, also love the sniper as well. We really want to have these prolonged sniper fights that are really great against the UESC. And if you manage to really push them and they notice you're pushing, they'll punish you for that too. So like, yeah, definitely be careful of these units.
See, I've been trying to manage some of this giveaway stuff for the codes.
The recruits, they have this rush down.
So are they saying every
if you're not too careful and knowing
match will have PvE elements, such as these commanders?
We're purposely making them
they've been detailing here?
That you can't get treasure.
Yeah, no questions, really. I can't right now.
Guarding it, and they're doing a pretty damn good job.
No way. Like, it's so hard to keep up with everything right now.
Kind of gotta figure out a way.
Yes. Exactly.
Also, too, we've
Without
got
interrupting
from, I believe, Shebsky. Can a team be composed of any number of runner types, like 3 Blackbirds, for example?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
There's no restriction on how you assemble your crew. You can all play the same. You can create a meme comp if you want. Or you can
so you have duplicate runners?
And sort of try to use each other's utilities. But we've seen them all. It's been really cool to see kind of the different combinations we've seen. Yeah.
But you may never know, like those 3 different like players that are playing Blackbird, they may have very different builds and what they're gearing towards in Blackbird, right? Like they may be some of them, like one of them may actually have implants that allow them to go in active camo. That's not a specific thing for a runner, so we're purposely trying to make it so that is you can diversify.
I did see the shield wall comp, which is like basically 3
shield wall
comp in like in the playtest from last week. But yeah,
let's go. Yeah. So you know, again, obviously, it's been so much fun to hear you guys even talking about this game and the experiences you've had. You've been building a world that's really ripe for players to tell their own stories in. You know, again, with the closed alpha on the way on April 23rd, as players finally get a chance, some of them to jump in. What are some of the stories you're most excited for them to get to dive in and maybe tell themselves?
So many. I mean, there's so many different stories that I think are that we're looking forward to seeing happen, especially ones that we've never even seen before. But getting onto the planet, like honestly, just trying to survive amongst all of the different threats that exist there. The dying, you know, when our trail says death, it's death. You know, there's a lot of death in the game. The learning from it, the challenging yourself, the getting back up and trying to do something new. It's gonna be exciting. I'm sure there's plenty of other things.
I'm curious, Mr. Cross. What are you expecting?
I mean, I'm you know, had the fortune to launch Destiny and now Marathon. It's always amazing to put something out into the world that you've been working on. You know, sort of.
If you do want these giveaway codes and you're in North America, I need you to join my Discord.
The visual world for the first time is amazing.
And get into the Marathon channel probably, so I can DM you.
You know, sort of the culture it creates. Always excited to see.
It's just going to be the easiest way to handle it. We have a Marathon channel in Discord.
What the metas are and what the IP is.
And that's just going to have to be part of it. So in other words, where it's like, hey, I won the code.
Wits, how about you? Anything come to mind on your side?
I'm just really excited for folks to discover the content and play with it in interesting ways. We've been making this meal for a bit. It's just time to see folks play, right?
The only thing is now I'm thinking I got to verify it's you on Twitch.
On all the activities and everything in the world, right? It's just going to be exciting to see.
Just be ready for it, is what I'm saying.
Organically.
But maybe we do the message whisper on Twitch as well.
I'm also curious to see which runner will be the crowd favorite. Yeah.
A whisper is easier, but people are slow and confused sometimes. Starship. Yeah, we might do Twitch whispers to start.
Chat, Discord, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, you cannot request codes in Discord, so don't. There's no reason
just
to.
About the conclusion of what's been a very action-packed show. So for starters, guys, thanks so much for being here today. We really
just in case we need it, is what I'm saying.
Thank you everybody out there. Like our team is literally sitting behind these cameras.
I've had trouble with Twitch whispers though, where people are like, "Where is it?"
You should give yourselves a hand, you know.
And we won't have time for that. But we do have a Marathon channel where you can still discuss your reactions in there too.
Also, there's an immense amount of staff here that has been super gracious and kind to come with us on this. So
in North America.
Make sure all of you, let's give you a hand too. You know,
Bungie has informed us it will not be a good experience for you if you try to get around it, and I'm gonna guess that they might even, block some of that.
That's right. So again, as we noted at the top of the show, coming up
So,
at the very, very
no
end,
point.
we've got a very special surprise. So go ahead and
Just
do us
wait.
a favor and stick around all the way through till the end. But again, a huge thanks, Joe Ziegler, Joe Cross, Andrew Witz, and Lars Bakken. Thank you all for being here today.
All right.
And of course, again, to echo Ziegler, thank you so much to the entire dev team here at Bungie. Thank you so much for being here today. Whether you're here with us in person or you're at home, it's your contributions that make Marathon possible. So truly.
All right, I'm going to try to give away a code right now.
Again, of course,
there is just a little bit of subscriber luck, but this is not a pay for code giveaway.
So much, or so quickly.
So don't
rather.
think it's that.
So thank you so much. It's
But
been
this
a
first one, I want to, a little more luck on that if you're a viewer or a subscriber.
To all of you
And
fine folks
Nightbot
out there
has
for joining us today.
definitions
It's
for
such
that.
a privilege for us to get the opportunity to share what we've been
So you want to
working
type
on that matters most
Gamma
to the show
in
with us.
chat
We know
if you would like to be
busy
part
days,
of this
and we're
first
thankful to
giveaway
be a part
in
of it.
North
So thank you
America
for joining
only,
us here on this
please.
Saturday morning.
And you're going to have
And
to
of
check your
course,
Twitch
too,
whispers for the code.
We got something fun at the end. Make sure you stick around for a little bit longer. We're going to be rating
All right.
Scarrow
It is working.
and
I'm
Mr.
seeing people
Waffles
get in there.
Milo out
Yep.
there here just after the show ends. So go ahead and tell them we said hello when you get a chance to drop into their
Yeah,
chat.
just type Gamma in chat.
But
Please be in North America
as
only.
has become kind of a tradition here at Bungie with our streams, we've saved just one more special thing here for you at the end. Now, we've told you a lot about the game so far, but we haven't had a chance to really touch on the narrative just yet, and we're really excited to build a story that's innovative in the extraction shooter space, both in and out of the game, and we'd love to show you a glimpse of that now. So we've had the opportunity to partner with Academy and Emmy Award-winning director Alberto Mielgo to go ahead and show you just a bit of a snapshot of what life is like on Tau Ceti. So we hope
They
you
did a
enjoy,
little
but in the
experiential.
meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
So yeah, we will have 10 codes to give away. So this first one, using the term Gamma, will be rolling after we finish this up here. And then I will need you to get in Twitch Whispers, confirm you're North America, and then I will give you a link just where you sign in Bungie, where you get your codes. I don't know if they said the date for the closed alpha yet. Did they? I've been trying to manage all this live. But yeah, if you do win and you're not in North America, it's okay. You let me know after. Oh, it was April 23rd. Oh, okay. Sweet. Yeah, I knew it was at the end of the month. Well, no, this is only the first entry, so there's only going to be one winner for Gamma. So we'll get rid of all those codes, get that off of our plate, most likely, or at least half of them. But they are set to expire on my end, I believe, according to Bungie. So, yeah. I'll probably have more codes to give away in the future. That's not something I've been told, but hopefully, depending on how this rollout goes. So yeah, this is just like a little film, if you will, that a director did, inspired by the look and feel. This is not in-game or anything like that, as far as I can tell.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said...
They used Ben's voice in this, too?
Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculptor well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless thing that mocked them.
I love the artsiness. See, this is the thing, though, like, showing stuff like this, which is the core of how I think about Extraction, like, I didn't see any of this in the game. Hopefully there's some of those moments. And maybe they showed some of that. You know, I'm just trying to set up for these giveaways as well. But I'm not crazy, right? I didn't see any slow flashlight in the closet looting moments in the gameplay they showed, right?
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. Supposed to be my lucky charm.
And then, yeah, I'll still be reacting. We'll go back through some stuff. Probably there will be some news rolling out. There is extended gameplay that we can watch, it sounds like, on YouTube. So we'll probably be rolling through some of that. Yeah, that looks cool. Boom bam, boom bam, boom bam.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, that's my mom. That's your mom.
Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
Again, for those tuning in, I do have 10 codes we're giving away. If you are in North America only, that is via Bungie. You can only really use them there, or it's just not going to work right. Be a waste of everybody's time, and they might be blocking those people. That's just my assumption. But at a minimum, it's not going to run well, probably. So, if you haven't yet entered for the first one, we're using the word Gamma in chat.
Speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is? You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Yeah, I mean, Scottish, EU streamers might be giving away North American codes, but I don't know if they've announced anything other than North American alphas. Like, there's nothing that would stop someone in France from giving away a code to North Americans. So, just, again, this is Bungie. The message that is in the alpha command, that is via Bungie. It is a North American focus test only, so. Yeah, I mean, look, my preference is you don't take a code unless you're in North America, because, like, if you're getting lag and complaining that, like, it's not as responsive, etc., you're only doing a disservice to folks who maybe could have enjoyed it and actually tested it right. So I understand people are excited to get in, but yeah, people are gonna try. Just warning you. But I'd hate to give away codes to folks who are not going to potentially have a good time. And it would make it worse on other people too, right? So, that's why I wonder if Bungie's going to be trying to keep those IPs out of their lobbies, right? Like, you can't have people in your lobby that are lagging out. So, I don't know. All we know, it is a North American focus test. I don't know what Bungie's going to do on that front. You just need a good standing with Bungie. You need to be 18, etc., all that stuff. So, I'm just stressing because there's always confusion. Like, wait, it's North American only?
On the pedestal, these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless and bare. The lone and level sand stretch far away.
Yeah, this is Ben Starr. It's just in everything these days, huh? It's good though, it's a good fit. Get looted.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
All right, again, if you did enter the code GAMMA, only for North America, which I will keep repeating, we're going to roll that in just a second, but I want to make sure we're at the end here. Yeah, they also do have their Discord. Obviously, they'll be giving away stuff. You'll get a couple friend codes. I mean, the alpha may be really big for all we know. This is just 10 codes that they're giving creators to give out. So I'm just going to let this run in the background a little bit while we take care of this. So, all right, I'm going to roll the first one. We're going to see this in chat. I need you to whisper me on Twitch. It's possible I'll need you to get into Discord if we have a problem, but whisper me on Twitch if you win. And there we go. War Demon 666 Tello, are you out there? Again, there was a little bit of sub luck on that one. I'm not going to do that for everyone. And literally, that's like a factor of 1 and 2 and 3, etc. It looks like War Demon is a subscriber, so there you go. Again, this is not a pay for code situation. They are not all going to be like that. I do appreciate y'all, though. Thank you very much. Okay, War Demon, I need you to whisper me on Twitch right now, and then I can give that one away here. I'm going to mark that down on my end. Which code is yours? Let me get this all set up. In fact, I can probably keep these rolling. Let's see. Let me just mark this down, folks. Sorry about that. All right, War Demon, we will await you to message me while I get the next one set up. And I'm going to set up the next one here. Just give me a second. I'm managing 1,000 windows. All right, where is my window? Come on. Where'd you go, Nightbot? Oh, I see. Just to check on my end that things are working. I mean, I'm not seeing a whisper from you on Twitch, War Demon. Am I crazy on that? You are working on it? Okay. But yeah, we're gonna roll the next one. So let me back this out and re-roll another one. Let's see, commands, giveaways. We're gonna do another keyword. This is everyone is eligible. There will be no additional luck on this one. Again, just to describe to you guys what's happening, there's like, if you've been Nightbot, if you've been a long-term viewer even, you can add a little luck. On that one, we had subscriber luck of 3, viewers had luck of 2, regular folks 1, so it's not like you couldn't win. This is gonna be 1 across the board, just regular old for everybody. So again, I need you to be in North America, but let's see, we're gonna do code. Keyword is going to be creator. Use term creator if you're in North America. Go ahead and please go ahead and type that twice, everybody. I apologize, but I gave you the word before I pressed enter. I'm not so sure it gathered everyone. We do have 23 people entered though, so feel free, type creator again. You will not be excluded for typing more than once. You can only enter once, so don't worry about that. Typing more than once will not get you as part of it. War Demon, I don't need your email or anything, but thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and give away, while we wrap those up, I'm gonna give War Demon this key. So I would love for you to confirm for me, War Demon. Yeah, I don't need all your information, but don't worry, your secrets are safe with me. But please check that link, confirm that code, War Demon, and I just want to make sure everything is good on that end. So yeah, again, you only need to type once, but it's okay if you've typed creator twice. We're gonna roll that in just a second. I'm just trying to get back to my giveaway. You're gonna see that in chat. So again, North American creators only. Just to be sure. All right, I'm gonna roll this in 10. It was using the word creator. It didn't matter if you had caps or not. And then, yeah, we'll talk about Marathon, my reactions. We'll go in if you got any questions, but also we're gonna watch some gameplay. We got a lot to do there. But first, we got 9 more codes that we are giving out. All right, it looks like they cut their feed. So again, let's go to the Marathon channel. And I'm gonna just put some of this stuff on in the background while we chat about this stuff. Overview trailer. We'll just run that in the background. Just want to make sure it's not too loud. Okay, let's see who won this one. This was using the term creator, and the winner is, oh dang, Nightwing, look at you. And again, there was no luck on that one at all. 1 across the board. It didn't matter whether you were new or not. And War Demon, if you are in chat, please tell us your experience. But I need you to whisper me on Twitch. Nightwing 593. And I'm just gonna mark that down on my end. I'm gonna send you this. I do believe, yeah, when you input this code, and I need you to input this code ASAP, by the way. Let's make that clear. Don't walk away. You should get this done now. Get everything tied together now, because I believe these codes are expiring within the hour. So let's get it done. So Nightwing has won that one. I'm going to set up our next one and go from there. Let's see. Go ahead and whisper me on Twitch, but that one's going out to Nightwing 593. I'm going to reset our giveaway options. For this one, we're going to go back to just a little bit of viewer luck, and that's ×2. Subscribers will have ×3 luck on this one. This is not going to be the case for everyone. The last one was flat across the board. It's going to be a different word. So, Zoe, you're too late on that one, so don't worry about that. Next up, we're going to do... yes, we're going to use greenhouse, which we see was somewhere on the map here. So greenhouse is going to be your keyword to enter on this one. By the way, if Coco Jangles, Ponton, Always Youngest, make sure to just enter greenhouse again. I see Shadow Moses is in. Subliminal, maybe enter yours as well. Again, greenhouse, type that. But yeah, this is just for North America. Oops. Ignore that I just typed. That is wrong. Dang it. I'm getting all messed up here, folks. You're only using the term greenhouse. I apologize.
Whether you're on a zero to hero run or high rolling with powerful gear.
Okay, we got 26 people entered. Again, there was a little bit more subscriber luck on this one. This will not be the case every time again. I just thank you. There's also viewer luck. So if you've just been a viewer, you have some extra luck. That's a Nightbot definition. So we'll be talking about Marathon more after this. I have a total of 7 more keys to give away, including this one. And we need you to use this key and whisper me on Twitch shortly. So while this wraps up, I'm going to go ahead and Nightwing, please check your Twitch whispers right now. Can you go ahead and, you can, after you check that link out, maybe let me know in chat that it worked and everything is good, etc., etc. Okay. Let's see who won the next one. And that is going to be Ponton. All right, Ponton, you're the winner of this one. Please whisper me on Twitch. That's Ponton with 3 underscores after it. Believe, though, that's a Ponton that's been following for 4 years. But again, everybody was eligible that used the term greenhouse. The next one is going to be flat across the board. There's no extra luck, or it didn't matter if you're a viewer or a sub for the next one. We've given away 3 of 7 codes. I need you to whisper me. You need to be from North America. But let me mark this down, and I'll get the next one set up. So in the meantime, Ponton, whisper me on Twitch. If that doesn't work, we can perhaps take it to Discord or elsewhere. But let me get the next one set up. We're going to pick a different keyword on this one. And let's see. We are going to go ahead, and the next one is going to be for North American folks only. Make sure I get my workflow done right. I'm going to type this in chat so everybody can also read it. Uplink is going to be your word on that one. So again, this is everybody is eligible. There's no extra luck, nothing of the sort. Yes, we have a total of 7 more codes to give away. While we enter this one, let me go ahead and change a couple things. I do want some gameplay running in the background here. And we're going to give Ponton the code. Let me know that everything works okay.
You kind of feel the blood pumping.
And yeah, it is, as Weeble points out in chat, I do believe that this is a closed alpha. You will not be able to like stream or share your gameplay. It is like a true closed alpha test and private test, I believe. So just be aware of that too. But yeah, obviously a big honor system with the amount of people that they'll have. Yeah, so the word is uplink, North American folks only. Again, I don't know what Bungie's going to do if you're trying to lag out and play in different territories or VPN your way in. So I just would caution you not to do that. But Ponton, let me get your code right now, And Nightwing, I didn't see if... Let me just make sure I'm doing this right, folks. Sorry. So, Ponton, in your whispers, you have your code. But yeah, I didn't see if it worked out. We're going to give away 6 more codes here. We're about to roll the next one using the word uplink. Please be in North America. What's up, Mitch? Please be in North America. I'm going to roll this right now. The word was uplink. And let me roll that for you right now. Let's choose a winner. There was no extra luck for anybody. And, Steph, hopefully I have a code. And worst case, if you don't get a code somewhere out there, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll probably have a couple friend codes to play with. This is a closed alpha, though, so we won't be streaming it yet. All right, I'm choosing our winner right now. Look in chat, see if you won. You're going to whisper me on Twitch. Then we'll have 5 more to give away. Manny Thorne, you are the winner. Manny Thorne, please whisper me on Twitch. I'm going to mark you down on my end and set up the next. We have 5 more to give away. So Manny Thorne, please whisper me on Twitch. See, there you go. Not a sub. Absolutely won. Manny Thorne's been around a long time, though. Great to see that happen. The next one will have, you know, when I say there's a little extra sub luck, it's like a 1 multiplier, a 2 multiplier. It's not a ton. Viewers just naturally will have a little extra just for the next one. Again, I'm just reminded there's no extra juice all the time. I'm just, you know, want to be thankful for people who've been here a long time every once in a while. So yeah, Manny Thorne, please whisper me on Twitch. We're going to pick a new word for the next one. So let me reset the options and let's see. Yeah, this is just going to have a little bit of that extra viewer and subscriber luck. So you might have a chance to win if you've been around for a long time. We're going to go ahead and choose a new word. If you are in North America and you'd like a closed alpha key access request, key that you can request access for the alpha, we're going to use the term, oh, kits. Wait. Now go. Go again. Now go. Kits. Feel free to type it twice. Apologies. Everybody, I do see we have 18, 19, 20 entries. And we're going to let this roll. I am waiting to see Manny Thorne in Twitch Whispers. If you're having a problem, Manny, you could potentially get in our Discord, but I'd prefer you do it right here on Twitch. But yeah, we are giving North American codes away only. Hey, it's Watts. What is going on, Watts? Thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, we are giving away 5 keys still. So yeah, North American folks only. Is closed alpha. But you can use the word kits in chat. Now's the time, actually. I'm going to give this a few more. We're waiting for Manny Thorne. What's going on, Manny? I need you to use these codes now as well because they are expiring, you know, according to Bungie. So we're trying to get these out the door. We got 5 more to go. But yes, North America only, the word kits. My favorite thing to do, give away stuff and just repeat stuff over and over again. But thank you so much to Miss 5000 Watts. I'm going to give that shout out. Manny, what's going on out there? At least maybe tag me in chat and let me know if you're having some trouble or anything like that. I'm not seeing anything from you. Okay, Nightwing, everything's good on your end? Good. Thank you very much. You're trying. Okay. Yeah, just remember, you have like an inbox and then a whisper. You might be able to click on my name.
I'm unlocking the box.
Manny Thorne. You know, the only other way, it should be relatively easy though, but you can do it from your Twitch app. But if you have my Discord, Manny, if you've linked your Twitch to it, right, then I could always, in the marathon channel, I'm looking for like, hey, it's Manny, I won. But yeah, you have time. You have plenty of time. I think it's going to take us another 20 minutes. So what'll happen if you can't figure it out in the next 15 minutes? Yeah, then we'll have to do it. Okay, we're going to roll the next one. The word is kits. Again, this is the last chance. Thank you so much to Miss 5000 Watts again. Let's see. I'm just going to make sure everything is square here. Use the term kits if you would like a chance for North American closed alpha. Don't put an exclamation at the end, though, Anuki. I don't know that that entered. So, you know, oh, you're in, Anuki. You're in. I see you're in. All right, we are at 40 entries. I think we're all good. So everybody's good. If you already entered, don't worry. You're good. But yeah, also typing it twice is totally fine, too. And it's not going to exclude you. Like, as an example, I saw Stev had typed a few times. You're absolutely in there. But let's go ahead and roll this winner. This one did have a little extra luck on subscribers or just viewers. So Nightbot has a definition for viewers that have been viewing either today or for a while, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's flat. Let's roll this. I see Manny Thorne message me. You're going to need to whisper on Twitch if you won, and the winner is, yo, Neveo. Dude, are you out there somewhere? Is Neveo out there? Yo, let's go, man. Let's go, dude. Yeah. Congrats, Neveo. Go ahead, and we will be picking a new term. We got, I think, 4 or 5 more keys to give away from North America. I need you to whisper me on Twitch. Let me mark you down as the winner. You do need to use this code right now in the next, like, 30 minutes as you get these. So, okay, Manny Thorne, I'm going to go ahead and message you on the whisper. So go ahead and activate that code. Neveo, same to you, dude. You were fast on that whisper. I appreciate you so much. Neveo, please let me know if that code works. I'm just making sure we're not duplicating any codes, but yeah. Let me know if you have any problems with your code. I've sent you the Twitch whispers, so you guys should both be good. And yeah, as Weevil says, I'll be, you know, looking at more of this, reacting to more of this afterwards. But let's move on to the next one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We do still have a total of 5 codes to give away, so let's get this moving. I might pick 2 winners for this next one, I think is what I'm going to do. We're going to pick 2 winners just to kind of move things along. So it's going to be a new word. You're just going to have to wait. So no more of that phrase. So let's make sure to reset. All the luck is flat. Everybody's got the same chances. Thank you so much for coming through. So you're going to use a keyword, and it's going to be... let's see. We're going to use the term...
Yeah, him. Or is that USAC?
All right. Yeah, for this next one... All right, I got the word. Let me get it set up.
I think they kind of built a ringer group, I'm not going to lie.
All right, the term is going to be dire. I typed that in chat, D-I-R-E. We're going to roll 2 this time. So everybody feel free to go ahead and enter. I'll give that 1 second. But again, you need to use this code. All right? I need you to use this code. Once you get it, you're going to whisper me on Twitch. Let me see if I can get my closed captions going over here as well. I feel like we don't have that happening, which is a little bit of a problem on my end. So let me see if this is working.
Where did I just hear that thought?
I believe this is for all platforms. They give you a choice, respect. So you'll be fine on that end. It is cross progression, I believe. It's just for a closed alpha, though, so you'll be good. So I don't think you're going to have to worry too much. I'm just getting my closed captions set up over here because they were not going, but it looks like maybe. Yeah, I don't know if it's working right now.
Yeah, something's sucking me.
Stop sucking him.
All right, we do have 41 entries using the term dire. We're going to roll 2 of these, by the way. So if you typed dire in chat, you're in North America. You're going to be whispering me on Twitch, okay? So we're going to roll 2 of these. So you'll still have a second if you didn't win. First one goes out to Respectable Chum. There you go. Congratulations. Go ahead and whisper me on Twitch. And Neveo, looks like it seemed to make you work. Makes you wait a few minutes after making a Bungie account, verifying. Yeah, you do need an account in good status and all that. So you should be good. But congrats to Respectable Chum. But I need you to get back to me and whisper me on Twitch. We're going to go ahead and roll a second winner. Okay, Respectable, I do see you out there. Let me just mark you down. And again, I will tell you in just 1 second. Okay, that's respectable chum. Let me get your code out here. Confirm that it ends in the letter T. Make sure. All right. You need to go to BungieNet. You got the full link and everything. Please go over there. If you could confirm for me that you've used it and everything worked, that'd be great. We're rolling the second one right now as well. So we're re-rolling the second. That's going out to JR2576. There will be a new word after this. So JR, if you're out there, please get back to me ASAP by Twitch whispering me. And so I can get this confirmed and knocked out.
Glitch is moving.
And we're going to do a new word set up for the next one. So please whisper me on Twitch. Please be in North America. Please have a good Bungie account in good standing. We got 3 more codes to give away. All right. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of subscriber luck on the next one. Yeah, sorry. I cannot be bribed for keys, folks. Please. And I couldn't do that live anyway. These keys are going. They're going hot, folks. You need to enter like everybody else. Very intriguing. Interested to see more. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. But JR, I'm not seeing you in your whispers here. So let me get the next keyword set up while we wait for JR. We might have to re-roll the next one, but we'll go ahead and see. But let me reset the options. Reset the options. Let's see. So for the next one, we will have a little bit of viewer luck, a little bit of subscriber luck on this one. But again, this is not a pay-to-play kind of situation. Luck is just a Nightbot feature where it's like 1x or 2x more chances, but technically anybody can win. So the next word we are going to do... What do we want to do?
Is he still there? Oh, someone just broke glass and jumped right here.
Sorry, I got to type this in chat here too as well. All right, yeah. The next word is going to be, with a little extra subscriber and viewer luck, eyes. All right, please be in North America. Please, you're going to have to Twitch whisper me. We might roll 2 out of this one, but yeah, it's going to be eyes. We'll let that roll through. I do have a total of 1, 2, 3 keys to give away. All right, JR, there you are. Let me get JR's key out the door. Your key ends in the letter V, and I'm going to go ahead and send that to you. Please go to this Bungie link ASAP. You got to get it done. But right now, go ahead and, if you can, JR, I would love you go ahead and confirm things for me. Thank you, Respectable Chum. Thank you so much for being communicative, letting me know that code worked out. We've had no trouble with these codes. Please be in North America. I don't know what Bungie's going to do. It's a closed alpha test, so don't take codes if you can't use them. But we got 3 more codes to give away. I might roll 2 out of this one just to make sure we get this knocked out. So that means we'll have 1 extra special code for the end there. Yeah, so hold on. Let me see. Let me get this pulled up. We have a total of 43 entries. So again, I'm going to say this one more time. Eyes is a term. If you're in North America, you want a closed alpha code, you have to go to Bungie.net right now, have an account, in good standing, all that fun stuff. And we're going to talk more about Marathon and everything. Watch some more gameplay and whatnot after this. Thank you so much, Miss 5,000 watts for that raid. Yeah, we have 43 entries. It looks like everybody's in that's going to be in. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the first winner. And that is going to be the Ghost Dog 420. All right, let's go. Ghost Dog, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Can you go ahead and Twitch whisper me, Ghost Dog? And I'm going to mark you down. And we're going to roll 1 more out of that. So, again, you can use the term eyes, but I need you to Twitch whisper me, JR, no rush at all. And please use that code ASAP, though, because they are going to be expiring. Codes will expire. I'm going to go ahead and write that announce in chat. It will expire soon, so use them. But yeah, the term is still eyes. You're still good. We got Ghost Dog won this next one. Are you out there, Ghost Dog? I'm not hearing from Ghost Dog, so thank you, JR, for responding to me. It sounds like everything worked. We got 2 more codes to give away. I'm not hearing from Ghost Dog. This is what? The Ghost Dog? You out there? Go ahead and Twitch whisper me. Twitch, if you had to step away or got an ad break. I don't know. Oh yeah, it might have been an ad break, so we'll just try that one more time. The Ghost Dog 420. We might have to give that one away again, but let's go ahead and we're going to roll the next one. And that is going to be Marker 051. All right, let's freaking go, Marker. Congratulations. I need you to whisper me on Twitch. We're going to do a new word for the next one. But I need you folks to come through so I can get rid of these codes before we choose the final giveaway. All right. This one was 9 out of 10. Everybody has been good, but we're not hearing back from Ghost Dog. So we might have 2 to give away. Oh no, Ghost Dog got back to me. You're good. Okay, I see you. I see you. So Ghost Dog, unfortunately for you all, is in chat. Marker, I need you to message me as well. Ghost Dog, your key is going to end in F. You have to go to Bungie right away. Please use right away as it expires soon. Marker, I see you in chat. I'm going to go ahead and your code is going to end in H. Please use right away and let me know. Congratulations, the Marker. We have one more code to give away. So then we'll talk about more reactions and there might be more giveaway stuff in the future. Be sure to drop a follow, set a live notification, you know. Whew, one more code to give away. So let me get this set up, reset everything on my end. They reset all these eligible entries, change our giveaway options. Okay, folks. So yeah, just to be 1,000% clear, this is our last code to give away. Well, we're on the wrong screen, everybody. So yeah, I'll be taking any questions you have, reacting more to it, but I feel like I gotta watch more of it. It's like honestly, I was not a huge fan of. I do super appreciate getting these codes, obviously, but man, it's a little distracting when you're trying to run a giveaway and process and react to the gameplay. So I sort of saw that was going to be the case, so was a little distracted. So I have some catching up to do. I believe this is April 23rd through early May for the closed alpha. So we got one more key to give away. I need you to be in North America. You need to have a Bungie account. You need to be 18 or older, etc. So I am going to get that set up with a new keyword and let's see.
I'd like to say everything felt really locked in.
This being sort of the next full Bungie experience is an exciting moment.
The game is inherently fun. I just want to
What do I want this to be? All right. We're setting up this next one, and the keyword is, if I have this right, please type you're in North America and want a chance at a closed alpha key, and you'll have to I like that it switched to music. Whisper me. All right. Keyword is extract, by the way. Oops.
You kind of feel the blood pumping.
All right. Yeah, it is all coming through, so we're good on that end. We now have 34 entries. Please be in North America, etc. As I said in chat. I will write that announcement as well. This is our last key that we have to give away for today. People who won, though, I believe may have a couple private invites to send out. Anuki, yes, you're in. Yeah, I didn't know for sure, but actually, if you just use the word extract in a sentence, even it looks like it works. So we have 45 entries so far. Yeah, again, I hope I'm getting a code. I believe that I am separately. And, yeah, then I'll have a couple friends that I can invite as part of that, I'm pretty sure. So we have 46 entries for our last code. I'm going to need you to whisper me on Twitch. Marker and Ghost Dog, let me know if possible once you're done, if it all worked out for you.
Okay, I am ready and up. Whenever you two are. Yes, sir.
All right, we have 46 entries. I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. Using the term extract, I'll just actually read through. No, I'll let you know that you're in. Chorizo, Anuki, Polaris, Zoe, Fu, Thor, Crush Lemons, Youngest, Starship, Coco, Subcriminal, Ford Machine, Trini Steven, Wide-Eyed, Tabasco, It's Little Blue, Twixtor, CSJ, Mike Jack, that is, Pete the Guy, Drew, F and Alpha, Mayday, Stage Geek, Dead Ships, Jess Hinkle, JT Snow, Michael, Unheard of, Swift, Alec, Alien, Dilot, Chad Daddy, Endgame, Wardeed, Streakin' Ain't Easy, DMC, Crosby, El Race, Stephen Rue, B6 Sonoma, Chubb Rock, KFD Mitch, Shadow Moses, Zoo, and Tatu. If you didn't hear your name, you would want to type extract again. But if you heard your name, everybody is in there. No, I said Michael's name. Michael's in there. Didn't I? Yeah, Michael. Michael's in there. What a name, Chad Daddy. All right, let's roll the winner. This is, let me just confirm. This is the very last code to go out the door for today. Ice, looks like you just made it in at the last second there. Yeah, Ice Kills making it in right at the last second. 47 entries. Let's roll it. Okay, Zoo SQR. Wow, we got a new winner. That had some subscriber luck on it. It had some viewer luck, but we just had someone new to the stream win. So there you go. That's just how it works sometimes. Please whisper me, Zoo. Yo, congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am FM3 or Fran. If you've never been here before, a long time Bungie player. And you might know me from Fireteam Chat, Destiny Community Podcasts, other stuff like that. But we'll certainly be playing some Marathon and have a lot of folks in the community around here. So please whisper me on Twitch. I need you to use the code right away. They are going to be expiring soon. Michael, Mitch, etc. Look, you got a lot of friends out there. There may be some winners. This is just a closed alpha as well. I know everybody wants to get in. You won't be able to stream this as far as I understand. This is all private, closed alpha stuff. Like, they want to get things balanced. They're going to obviously have big alphas. Like, you will have your chance to play. But yeah, we're going to talk about the game. So, Zoo, to get this done, though, again, please be in North America. If you're not, say so now, so we can give this code to someone else. Like, there's no point. Obviously, if you know someone in North America, you can give it away to them. But I need you to whisper me on Twitch, Zoo. Do you know how to do that? You got to click on my name and whisper me. I need you to do that soon, obviously. So we can get this done and I can move on. You just sent one. Okay, let's take a look-see. All right, Zoo, I do see you. Let me just mark you down. Zoo SQR. And your code is going to end in the letter N. I just want to be 100% sure. When I send it, please use the link ASAP as it may expire. All right? If you can let me know it works, great. I don't know if Marker or Ghost Dog are still out there. Can let me know. You can just let me know in chat if it worked. But that's, okay. That's all the codes. Let me go ahead and fix up my commands. We are done with that. Okay, Fran needs a quick break, though. So while you guys all talk amongst yourselves, Zoo, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Marker and Ghost Dog would love to hear from you. But all the codes are given out. As far as I know, they were definitely all used. I'm going to turn this up.
Long shots and
Fran's going to take a very quick break, and we'll be back with more. So thank you all so much. I need a vocal break. And yeah, we're gonna react, watch more, talk more, make sure we have all our details. I'm gonna have questions for you because I've missed stuff at this point. Oof, I need some oxygen.
Where are they?
They're on the balcony, like south 200.
I got one knocked. I got one knocked.
Nice.
That's annihilated, dude. Oh my god.
On me. I'm out of ammo.
Yeah, I would say it's a self res.
Yeah, there's a sniper. Freaking no!
It's a Brian! Kill him. He's a fiend, dude.
I'm coming to you, Sven.
Yeah, I see him. Don't underestimate this guy.
Oh my god, that bitch! He killed 2, I think it's 1v1. Ben, you knocked 1, I knocked another.
Heal up. I need to heal. Yeah, I need to heal. Who's the last one?
EPT warrior. He's got a sniper there, he's got a long shot. Oh, it's an AI.
I wasn't sure.
All we gotta keep progress on the res.
Alright, you're up.
Good stuff. I literally only have a sniper.
A unit is signaling for reinforcements.
Okay,
the knock I had was way over here. I don't see anybody over there yet.
He's been quiet for an awful long time. I reckon he's gone to res. I see him.
He's right there. He's right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me if they res.
That's okay. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
Sniped a sniper.
Yeah, right on me. Just player. I mean, very weak up there. I'm underneath.
Are they where we got down? Nice.
Knocked one. Coming. Got one left.
I take shots on the right side, like usually.
No, if they're close. I got no tags. Oh.
There.
You got eyes?
Yeah, A1.
Oh, is that him up there? Is he upstairs inside?
Yes, sorry, he was. Yeah, hear him. Where's that USAC?
No, you said we're shooting something in here. They were shooting something in here.
I think they kind of built a ringer group, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
If they built God squads, you could say. I feel like we might be the God squad.
That was good. That was a good run.
Let's take a look, shall we?
We got knifed some AI and grabbed some guns.
Okay, let me get back on stream here. Okay, I think we're done with all the giveaway madness and whatnot for now. Okay. Get my head straight here. So, where should we start, folks? Let me get this volume set. I think I'm gonna eat this banana, and then I can have an even reacts to things. But let me ask you folks in chat while I eat this banana very quickly. What are we feeling? What's the temperature in chat? You know, any comments? But otherwise, you can rate 1 out of 10, maybe, how excited you are.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Shadow Moses says Paul Tassie's reporting it is not a full price game. Yeah, we need to look around for details and news. Definitely, if you have source of information on stuff and stuff like that would be great.
I found a purple enemy.
Tatu, I had the same question. They don't really show, you know, the quiet moments. They focus on action. And I have the same questions. Like, the trailers and stuff show some of those quiet moments, and I'm like, how does that even work, you know? The game seems so like fast moving, but
Yay. I don't want the conquest.
I haven't had time to watch these. Like, I think they're cutting.
Right here, take this. Take this.
I think they're cutting their gameplay up too, right? It's not. Yeah, the timer's changing in the upper left, right? So like, yeah, they just cut to the action.
Those are the flares, right?
Huh? Like
the cash flares?
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I mean that.
Flares, 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 flares.
If you watch the timer in the upper left, like, if I don't know if this is all the same match even. It's probably a bunch of matches, to be honest.
One is broken.
Yeah, I haven't had like time to process a lot of this.
Knocked one.
I knocked one.
I mean, well, I'll wait to give my reactions, but
Prepare for increased hostile action.
Glitch is moving. Glitch is moving.
Behind, yeah, Glitch is behind you at the moment. White shield, white shield.
Oh, she's scared. She's scared.
Down, down.
Very good.
Very, very nice.
Shadow Moses says when the characters were being questioned with the picture, they were cosmetic skins you can buy. I don't know where that was.
Yeah, I want the freaking.
What is questioned with the picture? Oh, yeah. You mean in that little room? Okay, yeah. Weevil says reading from Timur over at GameSpot, saying that yeah, we know it's September 23rd, but it is a premium product. You'll be able to have to pay full price, but we don't know what that price is yet. And yeah, we did hear during the reveal the game will feature seasonal content model as well as its own battle pass. I don't know if they use that word in there. 3 maps at launch, according to Timur, and a persistent story. Yeah, they did say there would be like seasonal story content.
If I had headshot that second one, you would have.
So yeah, here let's look into a few things here. Yeah, let me look up some of this info. People were saying Paul Tassi was reporting. Yeah, 13 minutes ago, Paul Tassi, if you know Paul, I know Paul, so he says I have confirmation that Marathon is not $70, quote, not even close. That could mean a lot though. That could mean that it's $49.99, which I think if you look at the way that Bungie sells its expansions, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 40 or $50. So I think it's going to be one of the two. $39.99 or $49.99, and then like with whatever you have to buy for the seasonal pass, etc. So, so let's see. Is there any other?
In the building below me.
Is there any other media out there? Like, has anybody seen if there's like exclusive? Let me look at like IGN, which of course would have something if there was. Let me see what they have. Let me put on a little bit of music in the background, and I'm gonna pull up this real fast. Let's see if they have any exclusive footage in here.
Based runners available to you.
Looks like maybe.
Marathon is an extraction shooter where your team is killed. Those distressingly high stakes immediately got my blood pumping and made
Let me see what Trav has to say here.
One so far.
Let me see if this footage is unique or not at all.
Tooth and nail against surprisingly
it's nice and high quality though, so that's nice.
And ruthless fellow runners to get a high-level rifle.
So actually, let's pause. Let's pause on a few of these things right here. So this looks like, let's see. I see 2 guns, but I saw 3 somethings. That there was a stack of 3 on that bottom right at one point. But in this kit, you see 2 guns. This is very, you know, Tarkov-like. I think a lot is simplified, obviously. You're not going to be making individual bullets and crafting them. Implants, you've got cores. Like, this is, I think, a lot of just, about your build and how it's modded out and the value of that. We see a $300 shield as an example. It looks like they're using money to like identify as well as color. So I think that's really easy to read. Like, we got this purple, I don't know if that's a mod or what it is. We're seeing a self-revive over here on the right, allows for self-revive when down. That is a $80 item.
Level rifle that could down most enemies in 2 hits.
Let's take a look at that rifle. We do see a higher end superior. It is called superior level rifle. Precision. It looks like they're going to have like, frames and archetypes and stuff like that. Seems like, the classic Destiny. Yeah, I don't recall if Halo ever had any of this type of stuff before Destiny, but all the stats you might expect in something like Destiny gunplay. I don't know what all this stuff on the bottom is. It looks like, I wonder if this is the type of mods on it, maybe? Maybe it's got mods. Looks like it. Magazines, maybe. But not unexpected there at all. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of different rifles and things to get. And I think that's where maybe you're going to have that Destiny crossover where people just, they really understand, like, dude, I really want to get this particular gun with this particular mod. But you can lose it, right? I mean, I think that's the interesting part, is how much, you're going to be able to stack up on high value stuff and how much trade-off. So yeah, I'm still learning. You guys might already know a lot of this stuff, but I haven't had a chance to process a lot. So for me, this is like really unpacking it for the first time. Yeah, there is this ping system in there. There's weather system. Trying to look at like the HUD. Oh, so this is what I was saying. Okay, wait. So it's like 2 guns and maybe like a melee, like a knife. I didn't see in the kit if you could change that out or not, but Weebles, what is the gameplay loop? I would want to read hands-on impressions, but to me, it is very much the Tarkov gameplay loop. It's just in a more action, setting, but it's like, get your backpack together, go in, get stuff from the environment, but kill players and get that stuff off them and get out. And we did hear them say, like, if your teammates die, you can try to get their stuff out as well, any winning and earnings that they had, and somehow share that with them, I guess. So there is obviously, the fact that you die. I don't know what you do when you die in that situation, like, and how you may get your loot back. I don't know if they covered that at all yet, but yeah, to me, it just looks like a more simplified and higher action Tarkov, but more in a, Apex-y, Destiny, Warzone-y. I'm sure there's even Rainbow Six Elements is the, one of the designers on there is coming from that team. So let's watch some more footage. I haven't had a chance to like really process.
Weapons and movement feel crisp, fluid, and incredibly satisfying in that rarefied way.
Yeah, there might be unique footage. I don't know that we've seen some of this stuff. This is IGN's footage.
Lets you blast enemies with kinetic energy, sending them flying away. Gives that extra kick you need to feel like a super.
And so, like, that's another big part of this is we did hear them say, as part of the reveal, that like you'll be able to like get mods that potentially take you from a double jump to a triple jump. And I assume with that kinetic ability, maybe it has bigger area of effect or the permanence of that stuff, though. I don't know. In a game like Tarkov and that, and they may, again, please correct me, because they might have covered some of this stuff. But you're going to lose that stuff potentially. And that is really the whole point of an extraction shooter. When you look at this, if you're like, well, I don't know, it looks kind of like Destiny and Apex, like whatever, but it is the construct of, it really is like the construct of Tarkov. It just doesn't look nearly as complicated or as big, and it's faster. absolutely. But you're going to potentially lose stuff.
Naturally powered
I mean, you will.
badass.
They didn't really, I don't think they got super into that,
feels
but...
fantastic to play. And as soon as I took out a robot who took a pot shot at me,
And then
from
there
the
is
window of a nearby
PvE
building,
elements as well,
tried out
apparently.
his
So
weapon for myself on a
that's
nearby
good. It
enemy,
was really good
it
to see
was
that.
love at first snipe. This gets even better once you start to familiarize yourself with the class-based runners available to you, 4 of which I got to play extensively out of the 6 that will be available at launch. Glitch is all about mobility and controlling positioning, and has abilities that help her move fast, jump to areas...
Yeah, you can see they're using like an echo pulse. Hey, look at that. That's an Apex animation if I've ever seen one. That's almost Sears animation.
Move fast, jump to areas others can't reach, and push enemies away with a blast of kinetic energy.
And yeah, you know, the more that I watch it and think about it, I think that is where I see the Apex influence is... And you know, there is a director coming from Valorant as well. So it has just like, you know, class hero-based stuff, but you're not like loading in with just like a full kit. And it is also not a, you know, Apex loot box just for that one round. You know, you are taking in kits, possibly going in as a really strong team.
Locus is a tanky
And how they're going to
soldier
matchmake and balance all that, I don't know.
Shield to block incoming fire and launch a flurry of
The weather
missiles
stuff I'm
at
actually really
enemies.
excited to see.
While Blackbird is all about intel and using her gadgets to ping any enemies within an area for the whole team, and sending out little robotic drones to seek and destroy nearby enemies.
Seeker deployed.
My personal favorite, though, was Void, a deft ninja who can turn invisible for a time and deploy massive clouds of...
Yeah, it's interesting how much the gunplay just like it is, you know, it's funny that it's just, you look at it, you're like, yeah, it's kind of like a different version of Destiny gunplay to a point. I wonder how that's going to feel, you know, once I get my hands on it. Weeble's asking, should they be worried that it's so close to Borderlands? I don't think so, because it looks so different and it is strictly an extraction PvP shooter. I don't think there will be any mixed messaging on that at all. End of the day, like everybody needs to be afraid of everybody these days, if that makes sense. There's always something pretty big coming out, especially towards the end of the year, and then like whenever GTA and how Switch 2 rolls out stuff, all that. But you know, meaning in other words, I think they need to more look at whatever's going on with, is there going to be an alpha for, or a beta for Call of Duty during this time? Is there going to be, you know, whatever, a new Apex Titanfall drop? And, you know, those rumors were squashed recently as an example, I think. But,
Camo filter engaged.
yeah, there's no other extraction shooters like this out there that I know of that are going to compete with it in September. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, it looks like they were able to capture footage. That's great to see. So let's look through some of these in more detail.
Camo filter engaged.
All right, so Locus, Search and Destroy is its prime ability. That is the one with Riot Barricade, a tactical ability. It's got the thruster on it and a tactical sprint. You're using the shoulder buttons to activate your shoulder-mounted missile pods, dealing sustained damage to targets, launches homing missiles, immobilizing and dealing dealing damage on impact.
Each of these characters offers a completely different way to play Marathon.
See, Glitch, Amplify, that is going to give you the ability to overcharge your prime systems, reducing the heat buildup of movement abilities. Yeah, it sounded like that was their version of stamina, I guess, was like heat. Increases movement, speed, and weapon dexterity. But yeah, you can overcharge your movement, so just a more mobile character with Glitch. It's also got Disruptor.
And by coordinating with my
Disruptor is going to transform your arm into a cannon and fire a high-powered energy projectile that deals damage, pushes targets away. I think maybe that was that kinetic thing they were showing and talking about just before this. You can also hold overcharge on this arm cannon, greatly increasing the size and damage of the blast.
Teammates, we were able to put
Microjets activate in air to perform another jump. That might have been the triple jump potential they were talking about. Echo Pulse, we've got activate your shell's advanced detection systems, releasing a series of sonar pulses that reveals the location of nearby hostiles. Okay, yeah, this is almost like the seer traits from Apex, maybe to a point. Blackbird. It's got a tracker drone, interrogation, stalker protocol.
Of runners who complemented.
Tracker drone is deploying a mechanized robot. Yeah, we saw some of that. That tracks down nearby hostiles and explodes, overheating any targets caught in the blast. So it's also going to kind of make them slow, I believe, if I understand that mechanic properly.
One another's strengths and helped make up for.
And then you got Void. That was Lars's favorite, which is interesting to hear from him. You got Smoke Screen, Active Camo, Shadow Dive, and Shroud. Did we see anything on the bottom there for that one? We do see Blackbird. Kit type is Scout. I wonder how much you can customize that. It's a freelance runner occupation. It's got a little origin information. The role. It's got, so basically these are your roles. Just a little bit of like player card info, I guess. It's more than anything on that.
That came in handy as we explored dark and forgotten places throughout Marathon's maps, which were filled with deadly
So yeah,
creatures.
Tatsu, if you haven't caught much of this, I think they were even talking about this before, but it's definitely, we see it now is that it's not that you just play like a class and that's it, right? It is, it's custom operators in the sense that you can be Blackbird, but you can be your own Blackbird. And another example they used, they were like, you can have 3 Blackbirds on a team, and sure, they're going to have those same core like ability usage type stuff, but they can be kitted out very differently. And how deep that goes is hard to say right now, but their core abilities would be the same, obviously, I think. But yeah, I think you can mod those abilities as we were seeing, like changing maybe how the mine works in the Seeker drone. I don't know the exacts of that yet. That's what we're figuring out now.
Accurate robots who are much, much better at surrounding and overwhelming players.
Well, it's good you slept in, Tatsu. You got plenty of time to learn. Yeah, this is IGN's footage at the moment that we're watching.
Fighting these foes was no joke, but the loot was well worth it.
This looks like a PvE fight.
Finding a backpack that allowed for more storage space.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to find in this footage right now is like some of these moments that are not like all action, where Bungie decided to focus on that. But yeah. I was just reading back from Marker, who won the giveaway. They got the NDA, no confirmation. Yeah, I mean, as long as you were able to sign in and you signed an NDA, like, consider your giveaway done, is what I would say.
Odds against a rival crew, or just some consumable healing items to rival crew. A backpack that allowed for more.
Oh, hey, GDO, good morning. I think I missed some stuff for you. You think that the UI looks a bit dated? That's an interesting take. I will say, when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, it looks like really simple, but in a way, I like that. I mean, it's very fitting with the style, and it's not. I like it. Simple is good in this case. I'm glad it's flat. Maybe flat is the word. I'm glad it's very flat looking. We do see their on-screen HUD is honestly, it's very Destiny, in a lot of ways. It's like a flatter, simpler evolution. But their graphic realism style, I think it's all fitting. So far I haven't really seen anything. But yeah, GDO, when you say that is, yeah, I guess that is interesting in the sense of now you got me thinking like, okay, like Halo, if you go back, I'm sure it has some of these flatter, more simple looks, and maybe there's some return to that. I don't mind that at all. Like, honestly, the game is super colorful. Like, just look at this screen right now. You're like, whoa, that's busy. You need it to be simple.
Some of the extremely rare and powerful items, of which my team only found a handful during our matches, changed things up quite significantly.
Yeah, it is a closed alpha if you got in, exactly.
Whenever they interacted.
War Demon, did you get, or can you talk about if you got 2 friend codes to use as part of that? Honestly, I don't have a code yet, so I don't know.
Container while wearing it. Extremely useful in a game where you're being hunted by everyone else on the map. Marathon's tensest
Oh,
moments,
I want to
though,
see that.
happen
Look at
when
that.
it's
Those
tensest.
dog tags. What were
Marathon's
those?
by everyone, hunted by you're being hunted by everyone.
So in this case, they open like what? A little treasure box, and this is a cleanse consumable. Yeah, there were also a lot of consumables. Tarkov is, if you've never played, like there's a lot of that. Like let's say you're overheating, which I believe in this game is your stamina mechanic. Like you can take a juice box or whatever it is going to remove that status debuff, and how long these statuses last and stuff will be interesting to see.
Everyone else on the map.
And that's where the detail's going to come in, you know, is how all of that works and feels.
Enemy crews and inevitably clash in a bid to claim one another's loot. Maybe we'd spot a crew in the distance and stealthily follow them, waiting for the right moment to stage an ambush. Or sometimes we'd hear other players in the distance fighting off security forces and decide to go catch them when their guard was down.
So yeah, they're trying to extract or capture something here.
And of course, sometimes we found ourselves on the receiving end of that ruthless equation and had to scramble as one of us was downed by sudden gunfire from a rival team. These moments are when the PvP magic really shines and leaves you with
like putting down some smoke for cover.
Like the time my group got entangled in a 9-player free-for-all and came out unscathed thanks to some well-timed smoke grenades. Or another time where both of my teammates were killed, but we came back to win it thanks to a clutch revive the other team didn't see coming. Just like the most epic, heart-pounding moments of a battle royale match, Marathon provided me with tons of memorable moments of elation after a narrow victory and the occasional sour taste of defeat.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it's worth bringing up as well, is it having extraction shooters kind of naturally have some of that battle royale element to them just naturally, right? Like you don't have to be the last one standing. I believe that you can extract in these zones when you want, very much like in Tarkov, but you're going to draw fire. You might get less on your run. But when you are the last one standing and there's a final fight, you know, you get those battle royale moments. So we're seeing a little bit potentially of like the damage numbers, maybe. It looks to me like they were a limit. It's good they seem to have some feed here. I'd be curious how much detail there is and how often that is. But they got eliminated by a player, but they got a little fire from, you know, what is that? It's like 5% damage came from a PvE unit in that case.
Once we'd gotten our spoils or completed an objective or two, it was time to haul ass to the...
So if you look in the upper left, it looks like that might be the match ending, I think. I don't know if there's an extraction timer. I don't think that's it. Let's see if we can see. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, wait. You were getting the extraction timer. Huh. Well, that spot previously was like the match timers, so I don't know if your teammates start extracting, maybe the timer changes. So
stand near it long enough to be pulled out of the firefight and return safely back to our base in outer space with our bloody bounty. But lighting that beacon also lets everyone else on the map...
Oh yeah, there you go. Now we're seeing the 2 timers, so maybe, I don't know if that was just coincidence then maybe, but 2:16 left in the match, and then you've got 24 left on this extraction timer, and looks like maybe 2 or 3 people on this
to make
team.
off with your goods via a giant blue light that shoots up into the sky for a prolonged period of time. This makes your last moments in the area pretty intense, or if you're like me, offers some exciting opportunities to kill a group right as they're preparing to leave and benefit from all their hard work.
And yeah, I mean, look, this is the Dark Zone, Division Dark Zone model where it's like you shoot the flare up. It is not the Tarkov extraction model where you try to hide under a truck quietly and hope that nobody hears you. I mean, this, like, that's another thing that's worth just pointing out and saying. It's not Tarkov. You know, it's nothing like Tarkov. I didn't expect it to be, in the sense of like truly the heart of just Tarkov is insane. It's hyper realistic in a lot of ways, and yeah, like they even kind of said it and didn't say it when they talked about like I think you can like get damage to your suit, right? They mentioned something about, you know, I broke my knees on that one, but it's not like you're not going to be repairing limbs. So, you know, that's very much the point. It looks like they want it to be faster moving, more approachable, but still retaining, you know, I think a lot of the core of what, you know, when I look at this, yeah, I do see, the more I watch it, I do see Apex Arenas meets Tarkov with, like, you know, obviously Destiny gunplay and Bungie's trademark gunplay. And the Apex part being, of course, like a team of 3 with abilities. And some class loadout stuff. And yeah, like you're seeing, there's room to add more classes, you know? Like this is going to obviously be the model. There's not only going to be 4.
Those with skill will enter fresh matches.
And that's the Apex model.
Easily outmatches less skilled players, making them even less likely to be able to pull off a victory. Bungie's gone out of its way to try and make it so a poorly geared squad still stands a chance against those with better loot if they play well.
I mean, I hope so. He was saying you might still have a chance as long as you play well, even if they have better loot. But yeah, if you got questions for me, be sure to tag me in chat. Tatu says, is the world preset with objectives, loot, etc., or is it randomly generated every time you enter? Well, I wouldn't expect everything to be in the exact same place. I don't know if that was said anywhere in here, but I would expect it to be just like Tarkov in the sense of like, oh, you know, this is like usually a high value closet of goodies. So people tend to go there, but there's a PvE enemy there. You know, I expected to have that, but I wouldn't expect it to be the same stuff every time, making every, you know, run different.
And you can always simply employ the strategy of avoiding other players until you've got a few extractions and some at least decent loot under your belt.
Yeah, War Demon says, and, you know, I don't disagree. It's Apex, Destiny, Crucible, Division, Dark Zone, have a baby. Certainly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good reminder, too, that Dark Zone had, well, a little bit of the backpack. But, I mean, the Tarkov backpack is, I don't know if Tarkov was really the first one to do it in an extraction shooter like that. But it's got the RPG backpack, as I would call it, you know.
Pretty demoralizing in short order.
Like, I haven't seen them, you know, doing it yet in the footage. Have you guys? But like the idea that like I you know, I'm drinking this juice box because like it's gonna give me speed for the next 5 minutes or whatever it is.
Bad luck and start to feel like you'll never catch a break.
You've never played Tarkov? It's insane, man. Here, let's see. I actually think it's good to... Tarkov is just like the most insane. There is Arena now. I never played Arena, but yeah, here, let's see if we can find some footage happening live. Here, you want to see a little bit of Tarkov?
All right, you guys got it easy. All you got to do is buy a body
For
wash.
comparison. I mean, yeah, look at the, you know, the visual styles.
No haircuts.
And yeah, okay, he's extracting, but yeah, hiding behind a truck, you know, very different style. Here, let me see if I can find,
think of all the money you save being bald. So, you know,
let's see, can we find somebody else? Tarkov's, it's just the most insane. Yeah, like, look, this is, yeah, you're in like in a bedroom in an abandoned apartment, and they might be having a shootout with like another player. I mean, you can get popped in the head and it's over. If they have the right bullet penetration, the right aim, the trajectory, you could be in here for 15 minutes. And then you'll hear like in the distance, like, so if you're just tuning in or something, we were just watching a little bit of Tarkov to show the difference. But Tarkov is confusing and super hardcore, but it is intense as frick. And it is really cool for that reason. You actually make the bullets that go into the magazine and you load them into your, you know, magazine. So yeah, very different. This is way more high action. So
majority of my matches.
War Demon checked their email, no friend codes. So you didn't see anything in there about that? There was nothing in the sign up that said anything about friends for you. Is that right, War Demon? But that's cool. Thank you for letting me know that. Oh, what is this? So this is this like your inventory outside the game?
Vast majority of my matches, and after the initial hump of stockpiling some basic
Contract. Yeah, this looks like, okay, yeah, you can rank up. You get contracts, upgrades, contracts. I wonder if they're going to have contracts, and it wouldn't surprise me that Bungie will. They may have even said it. Again, please, like, I'm just trying to keep track of all the giveaway, plus watching the stream was a bit much. But like doing contracts where it's like 6 steps while you're in an extract, like that is very common, you know, at least in Tarkov for sure. I don't know what other of these did it, but I wouldn't imagine that they're not going to do it, you know? So get, like, imagine you have to get 3 major commander bot kills to progress to another step, and then you'll get some rewards for it. We see Standall unlock enhanced leg implants for purchase in the black market. That's whatever is going on in here of unlocking stuff. So
basic equipment in my vault and unlocking a few permanent upgrades to make the going easy.
See if we can glean anything. So yeah, there's there are the faction. Yeah, actually, so now we are seeing, if you've played Tarkov, so now I get it. Yeah, I mean, this is very much, the more and more I watch it, it's Apex Arenas cross Tarkov, you know, and simplified on the Tarkov side. But yeah, it looks like they have the faction vendors and contracts and everything. You have ranks with each of these vendors. And now I'm seeing it. These are upgrade paths within the vendor, you know, that you're doing contracts for them, bounties, you know, in the Bungie terms, I'm sure, to do new caloric. I'm doing Mida, I'm doing Sakaguchi, stuff that you want to work on because you want those upgrades. Like in this case, you can purchase enhanced backpacks.
Vault and
let's see, in Cyber Acme or SIAC, what did we just see right there?
And unlocking.
We would gain 8 rows of vault capacity for the rest of the current season. So it sounds like they're going to be employing vault, you know, and backpack wipes, etc. Be interesting to see how they plan that. I mean, that is all. This is very much Tarkov, but again, way simpler, which I like. I like, you know, like if you try to play Tarkov and don't watch tutorial, which is what I did, you would be super baffled. I don't think they've changed any of that. So let me see. What else did they have in here? Unlocks enhanced backpacks for purchase in the black market. Oh, so they do have a black market. I wasn't like fully processing that. I would expect their black market, by the way, to be, I would expect it not to be the community selling stuff on there, but what do you think, Tatu? Do you think, like, it would shock me if they had like an economy, but that is very common in these games. But like selling stuff, I feel like the black market is not that. Yeah. Like the black market's probably like driven by AI and like, you know, all the stuff that's in there. And I don't know.
To make the
and maybe there's details out there
like even
on this.
It's to make the going easier.
Revive speed. So they just purchased this upgrade. I'm just watching, you know, sort of what happens, right? They have 1730.99, so about 17,400 credits. This costs $12.50, but you need 2 plastic filaments. You need 2, sorry, look behind where my camera is. So if you haven't played Tarkov or you know, a game like this, what you're doing is you're going on a run, you're trying to get plastic filaments and organic lenses because you're like, I really want to get this enhanced backpack. I need to unlock it. So that's why you're going on the run. This is all very common. So none of this, if you understand like what they do in Tarkov, it has all of the DNA of that. It's just more actionified, you know, and simplified in some ways. And simplified, I wouldn't, without playing it, I wouldn't put that in the terms of like, oh, that means it doesn't have depth or something. So, I mean, I like that so far. I like that it's all pretty straightforward. These are really just upgrade tables. You know, it's like, oh, go get this stuff and get an upgrade, you know. But it's sort of the why. Yeah, why are you going on this run? Is it possible that their version of black market can be things sold by other players on the black market for objectives? Well, that's what I'm wondering. Are they really going to allow player sales? I don't know.
Even if I fell in battle and lost.
What do we got here? We got batches of artificial enzymes. This is nanozymes. Sources. Yeah, it's telling you like where to get this stuff. Wow, it's a good thing they developed their bounty systems in Destiny. Now bounties have like real meaning. Again, I should say. You can get this out of locked rooms. And these, I don't know what nanozymes do though. Oh, you probably just use them, yeah, for like upgrading.
All my best stuff. At least I'd have.
What else do we see in here?
Have some adequate backup gear to recover with.
So yeah, if you've never played, just want to describe something where it's almost certainly the case, right? You have the vault over here, saying in your vault you have about a $14,000 value vault. That's kind of a good tracker how you're doing. But this is what you're taking out on your run on the left side, right? So it's really split into the left and right side of the screen in that sense. So what you're taking with you on the left, you stand to lose. Everything in your vault, you don't lose when you go out on a run. And so you only have so much space as well to hoard. And then, of course, you can probably sell that stuff as you wish to just get more money and blah, blah, blah. We do see the black market in the upper right here. We do see loadouts. So that's good. Does Tarkov have loadouts at this point?
That won't be the case for everyone. And I wonder how big the chunk of players will be who simply run into a brick wall in their first few hours, log off, and never return. At least an escape.
What was he saying about that?
And I wonder how to have some adequate upgrades to make the going easier. I felt like even if I fell in battle and lost all my best stuff, at least I'd have some adequate backup gear to recover with. But that won't be the case for everyone. And I wonder how big the chunk of players will be who simply run into a brick wall in their first few hours, log off, and never return.
So, if I understand that right, he's saying, well, if you don't have any good gear and you go out a few times and just die and you have nothing, you just walk away. The game is very much about the thrill of even just getting one thing in the beginning, like a simple gray gun, and like, I don't know what they're doing in Marathon, right? Like, how much can you get from a run? They might have been really boosted during these play sessions. Let me see. We're at 8:37. Let me see what he says. Has he played Tarkov?
Is the PUBG of the extraction shooter boldly striking out into a new genre despite humble origins? Then Bungie's upcoming shooter Marathon is the big budget refinement that could become the emerging category.
I was just wondering if Travis has played Tarkov.
Coming from a studio with a pedigree.
There you go. They include some Halo 3 footage. Good job, Tristan and team over there.
For first-person shooters that's virtually unmatched and which wields the resources to take a good idea and reimagine it in a disturbing, beautifully detailed sci-fi universe, it's easy to see how
I was seeing if he said maybe
he's
played Tarkov.
So
I don't think he has.
Inherently geared towards the hardcore PvP crowd and such a clear departure from what they've done in the past. And
skip around here.
People's day. Played Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, here we go. Wait.
If you've played Escape from Tarkov, then you'll be familiar with this PvPvE framing, which forces you to ante up any loot.
Yeah, I don't know if he has. That's what I was trying to find.
As it's permanently lost quit backup gear to recover with. But that won't be the case for everyone.
Marker in chat. Could you maybe tell me what you're saying there? You want to know the deal for using a sponsored kit from the factions? What is a sponsored kit? I didn't see that. Was that during the presentation, like finding maybe a loadout kit from like one of the factions? It's like, do they have like Call of Duty box kit? What are those called in Call of Duty? Where you just go to the box.
And I wonder how big the chunk of players will be who simply run into a brick wall in their first few hours, log off, and never return. At least an Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, what's a sponsored kit? You can buy a kit that gives you enough to do a run. Oh, okay. What were those boxes that we saw that were maybe, yeah, do they have like a loadout drop as well in there?
Tarkov, you've got your Kappa case to hold your most valuable items and protect them from being lost on the battlefield. Marathon has none of those safety measures, instead opting for a system where you're given a sort of pity loadout called a sponsored package, which sets you up with some basic gear after you've been quite literally bled dry. This definitely helps ice the wound of a string of bad luck, but one seemingly refuses to. This definitely helps.
Wait, which is dope, Tatu?
None of those safety measures, instead opting for a system where you're given a sort of pity loadout called a sponsored package.
Oh, that's what
which
he's
sets
talking
you
about
up
right here.
with some basic gear after you've been quite literally bled dry. This definitely helps ice the wound of a string of bad luck, but might not exactly be the most comforting consolation prize.
So yeah, you can leave crew, return to lobby. They do have elimination feed with some damage detail. That's good. Captain Mjolnir, yeah, the alpha is a closed alpha, by the way. So you're not really missing out in that sense. They're asking for North American testers. You know, I think like maybe that would have been a better way to frame it. I don't know every last detail, but it's all under NDA, blah, blah, blah. So it's more like they're looking for North American testers who, you know, want to test it. So it's a closed play test in that sense is what it sounds like. It's not really an alpha yet.
On its dedication to ensuring
But that's very common, you know. I'm glad they're doing that.
Felt stakes, even if it turns some folks off from it. I certainly count myself among those who enjoy a bit of sweatiness and quite liked how invested I was forced to be every single time I deployed onto a map. But they definitely risk a situation where it feels like the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, to the detriment of those who are on the unfortunate side of that brutal equation. Time will tell before we know how that will shake out.
What's this big
Even
drop?
in a short time with it, I already felt a bit
Oh yeah, I guess they have like little supply ships. That's a very Apex thing as well.
Emanating from those on the server who kept dying repeatedly.
Like, didn't that supply ship just land?
Outclassed
Yeah.
by those with quality loadouts. One thing that could be the key to preventing people from falling off.
So yeah, I mean, right there, he's like, oh man, like some people are just getting outclassed by these people with better loadouts. Like, but that is the whole point of the thrill, and that is where Bungie's going to have to load balance, right? But that's like 100% what you want, right? You want those really low lows, so when you do get out with something good, you come back and you have more power, that you actually do feel a power difference. I mean, there's no point if like you're extracting with good gear and it's not good gear, you know? So it's an important question, but that's what makes these modes like fun. That's the RPG of it, right? Is that you actually do have an absolutely dope sniper. That doesn't mean you can't lose it. You know, in Tarkov, you can get shot and somebody could just use a pistol and sneak up and shoot you in the back of the leg and like, you know, figure it out and bleed you out. It can happen. It's tactical as well as it is gear, right? Maybe that's a better way to put it. It should be tactical as much as it is gear. This also has full-on abilities in it. So to be able to shut somebody down with like smoke, a scanner, and a bot, you know, a drone bot, like it's very different than, well, you know, they have a really good sniper. So I would assume if their balance, you know, comes together, like that's pretty normal and expected.
System, which I found surprisingly engaging in my time with it. Even though your loot is probably destined to be stripped.
Yeah, I turned it down a little bit because I was like, yeah, I wonder what their music license are these days over there.
You can at least comfort yourself in the various perk trees and ongoing quests you'll find in the menus between rounds of play. You might not have made it back alive from your most recent escapade, but maybe you were able to loot some chests from a specific part of the map or complete some other objective in your quest log before you went cold.
Oh, good. Yeah, so he's just sort of confirming that some stuff isn't extract only. Sometimes it's just, yeah, like there's quest steps, like in Tarkov, for example, where you like use a key on this, you know, truck in the construction yard, stuff like that. Sometimes you have to extract stuff out, though, as part of those steps.
In that case, you can.
So this, we're seeing more of the load-in screen, it looks like. Factions. We saw that screen before with all those factions up top. It's like, yeah, your runner, your backpack, etc., and then loadouts. Pretty straightforward. That's good, I think.
at least still make your way through the faction quest lines and upgrade systems, which unlock new bits of story and improve your reputation with each of the 3 groups that have taken a market interest in your progress. Doing so grants you perks that make the going a bit
good.
easier.
So here we go. Get a look at one of the contracts and like one of the steps. So yeah, you would take this in and you just got to loot containers in the hauler. So yeah, this is a good example of where you're just upgrading the Traxxas faction. One of your contracts you're working on is just looting some containers. Like you could have a chill run in that sense where you're like, well, I'm not bringing in any good gear. If I happen to get lucky, cool. So you don't have to win the battle royale. It's not battle royale, but to use an example. You don't have to win the match to win in that sense, depending on what your goals are, from the looks of it. Yeah. And then you get a reward for that
Those
step.
let you buy slightly better gear from the vendor in case you find all your existing loot confiscated by the enemy. Elsewhere, despite some clear indications that some kind of plot will be included.
Yeah, and so they did, you know, I'm sure a lot of this reporting is now out there. We'll have to dig through it. But yeah, it's up to 18 players. It looks like right now there's 4 classes. Is that right? What? Blackbird, Void, Locust, and Glitch, right? Yeah, there's runtime limits. We did see some half-hour runtimes. I don't know if all maps, you know, will be like that. You can play solo. They did say there will be ranked play, but they said there's going to be seasons and seasonal storytelling. So they're keeping that. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of that here. This will be launching with a season 1. They said there's going to be community events as well, I believe, right? But then you can also have duplicate runners. So if you're like, well, wait, what if my favorite is Void? Like, yeah, you can have 3 Voids on a team. It could be an entire map of Voids if they got the balance wrong, you know?
Marathon.
So, I mean, that's all good.
Mayhem
That sounds good to me.
Focus. It's still unclear to me how much.
Be
that
curious how they
story
handle
will
ranked
matter,
play, though.
Or deliver something that makes me want to progress beyond just finding better weapons to use. As a mercenary called a runner.
Oh, they did say that there's 6 classes, so they haven't revealed 2 of them still. Okay, nice. And yeah, I would expect them to do the thing. You know, they've got a 7th class out there for season 2, an 8th class for season 3, you know, and how fast they roll those out, I don't know, but I'm sure that's probably however Valorant-ish does it, you know.
Beyond this basic premise and some really cool details, like how your artificial bodies are sewn together out of synth silk by robotic caterpillars, there wasn't a whole lot to go off of, and I could easily see this not being an area of particular focus for Marathon. That said, the world Bungie has built is every bit as beautiful as it is creepy and dystopian, and there are moments where they satisfyingly hint at the events of the Marathon trilogy from the 90s. But Bungie also told me that they're not entirely following the events of the original games, and what little I saw did only slightly more than pay lip service to the world. Another question is just how much support and longevity we can expect from Marathon. Bungie has earned its reputation for mastering the live service model.
This is Destiny footage that they're just showing as an example.
And shows no signs of letting players down here, as they told me they already have plans to support Marathon with new maps, weapons, characters, and more as they develop it. But as always, there's the question of whether they'll do so at a fast enough pace to appease ever-ravenous players. And importantly, Marathon also plans to use the seasonal reset model found in the likes of Diablo 4.
Oh, that's interesting. He's equating the seasonal reset to Diablo 4, but I mean, a wipe in extraction shooters, Tarkov in particular, is pretty common, which again is meant to reset the playing field. That to the point that you get the rich do get richer, you get very powerful. Obviously, you can take that in a ranked play, etc. But I don't know how fast their seasons will be and like how people are going to feel about that. But it feels natural to me in an extraction shooter. Interestingly, though, comparing it to Diablo, you know, I can understand that ish, where you're like, well, I just like spent all season getting all this stuff, and like there's a new season I want to start over. I would say this is a little different. Like Diablo is for whatever reason, maybe it's because of like how the power scaling and like the levels you get to. Like in something like Diablo, it is just a grind to get back to where you were. And even though this will be, you still have a chance to like go in, have one match in 30 minutes and come out with something really good potentially. Which is very different than like playing for, 30 hours to get to the world tier 4 or whatever they call it now, In Tarkov, with resets, do they typically add new things or adjust maps? Tarkov in the past has been very slow with adding like new maps, and most people are only playing on a few maps because they're like crazy, but I'm no expert and it's evolved. It now has arenas, I think as an aside. So like, I don't know what they do these days. Tarkov generally would wipe a season to just wipe it. And they might have new balance elements was like the main focus, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, I don't know that this would really mirror that outside of like I'm saying, I think their main intent is to reset the playing field, right?
Where you'll be stripped of your loot and progress at the end of each season to do so again with new content and a new meta.
Implants. Okay, so those are like your mods, I see. Yeah, like right now you're seeing an example where they don't have an implant at all. Their hardware stat will increase. I don't know what that does for you, but your revive speed goes way up. You plug that right in.
To mix things up. While I could definitely see this working for Marathon, there's always the question of how they'll manage to incentivize making that arduous climb from scratch each season.
So yeah, I mean, he this is Travis from IGN. It's a fair point, like Diablo resets, but I would just stress that like an extraction shooter is, there's a ton of work to do in a season, but in theory, you can get in, within several hours. You're like, dude, I was just playing for a few hours. I got some really good loot. And that you instantly sort of have some power. Whereas like in Diablo, you usually have to grind until you get to like World Tier 4. Or I forget what it's called now. Torment 3 and 4 or whatever it is.
I'm already fairly confident it'll scratch the Bungie PvP itch that's been left unscratched for a number of years now. Here's hoping the
But yeah, I mean, it looks... I'll give some impressions after this now that I understand it. I've seen more of it. In fact, we'll pull up, I'm going to pull up GameSpot's video. All right, let's pull up, GameSpot had one of these, I believe. I mean, I think there's a lot of these out there, but, their impressions, this is from Timur saying, it's a polished extraction shooter, but it might not be enough.
If you like Bungie games for the gameplay, you're probably going to like Marathon. If you like Bungie games for the gameplay, you're probably going to like Marathon. If you like Bungie games for the story, you might not like Marathon.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be story driven. Outside of having like seasonal type, cutscenes and little lore hits. And they all got their soundtracks going.
The Bellevue, Washington studio and played about 7 hours of Marathon.
Oh, I haven't seen their new studio here. That's an interesting approach.
You're probably thinking, what the hell is an extraction shooter? It's a kind of blend of battle royale and traditional multiplayer where you... And the goal is... Well,
maybe so I can talk over. I'm just going to run their footage. My own music in the background for a little bit here. Not that I don't want to hear from Timur. You should definitely go check out what he has to say, but let's see what their footage brings through. Let me know, are there any major questions in chat? Let's see. Let me get my balance set here. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks faster than I was expecting, but there still remains to be seen like the quieter moments. They focus so much on action, and video editors are going to naturally focus on that. I assume that Bungie asked people to cut up their footage, and so we'll have to look around and see, I guess. Everything always seems to have action, and I kind of wonder, are there quieter moments? And if there's some footage of that where it's like people just kind of walking around before the action happens and what that looks like. I mean, there clearly is. Let me see if we can skip through here and find anything. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. So yeah, like this is, I mean, there's people shooting outside though. But in theory, you should be able to walk in a place like this and you're just kind of looting and nobody knows you're in there and you have some time to yourself. So, Mark Rass, is Marathon supposed to have progression wipes? Yes, that's what they were saying in the IGN preview there. So we'll have a seasonal wipe. Sounds like we'll wipe everything. Yeah, it's very much the construct of Tarkov without being as complicated, and the action of like Apex and you know, Destiny and Halo to a point, right? But yeah, I mean, honestly, in modern terms, it's just the more I watch it, it feels a lot closer, yeah, to like Apex. I mean, there is within there, of course, there's Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like, I think because of the hero styles, the class hero abilities and things like that, it's easy to see some Apex influences here. But again, one of the designers is from the Rainbow Six team. Not to say that they would be doing anything like Rainbow Six, but maybe there's, you know, some of those elements. Yeah, I think it looks really fun. I think that, you know, the reason I say that now is because of Apex. I'm thinking about Arenas. It's probably the most recent thing that I've played that I like a lot. And Arenas is team deathmatch stuff, right? So it's nothing like this, but just meaning the feeling of being around like a little like area like this, and you're just trying to take out one team. Maybe another team comes in and swoops in to complicate matters. But the map should be big enough, right? That that you feel that, and that is again where it's more similar to like Apex or whatever. So I mean, I think it looks great in that sense. If it's got the feel of Destiny and all, that'd be good. One big question that I haven't heard anybody talk about it, is like, yeah, how is lag and stuff like that? Because in a game like this, the differentiator, you know, in Apex is that like it feels amazing. Yeah, well, in general, you like dedicated server stuff, etc. And like, I don't think it's gonna have that. So are we gonna? I don't know. I just hope that it does not have any lag issues. What does Tarkov do though, actually? Does anyone know? Is Tarkov on dedicated servers? Let me see. Is Escape from Tarkov on dedicated servers? I don't think so. I guess not. I don't think so. There are places that host servers. That's weird. I don't know how you do that. Okay. What else? Where else can we find some folks? I would expect, let me see if I can find on YouTube, like yeah, did Shroud have a playthrough as an example? Or, oh, it looks like Skill Up. That's right, Skill Up went.
Decade of game making the same way that Halo and Destiny did when those games launched.
Let's see what footage we have. Maybe from Ralph and Skill Up. Oh yeah, Lupo. That's a good one, Point Blanc. I will say in all this footage, because they're just demoing this one map, it will also be really interesting to see the different styles of maps, and maybe this weather they talked about, and yeah, like, will you have some really clean, more laboratory heavy settings? Like, that looks cool. Watching this right there, that just reminds me of DMZ, Warzone DMZ in that case. You find yourself in this exact situation. Tiny rooms is why I say that. They had the labs in DMZ, which was one of the cooler parts of Call of Duty DMZ if you never played it. You basically got this card. That would be a great, I wonder if they saw that mechanic and are exploring it, but you would get a special access card, and then they launched on, it was like on Friday, the labs would go up, and so only people with the card could get in there. And there was like super high value extracts. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, that looks to me like that's PvE right there, right? So I think it looks good. In short. I think that people who have never played Tarkov or DMZ or Dark Zone or whatever will look at this and they will just sort of see Destiny, Call of Duty, Apex, you know? And Bungie's, you know, and PlayStation are going to have to do a lot of communication on extraction shooters, which I'm sure they will. Oh, there's a grenade type right there. PvE enemy. Well, maybe. Looks like it. I would assume it would have had a player card otherwise, yeah.
Not really written yet.
See what he has to
Narrative
say.
team were clear that the narrative framework has been built, aka how Bungie plans to tell.
Skip around.
Makes me want to play Marathon over Marathon. Glad that I played it. Interested to play more. But I also walk away with two big questions. Number one, where is that hook that makes me want to play Marathon over the other extraction shooters that I could be playing, or over the other competitive experiences out there right now? In my time with this game, I was enjoying it, but I couldn't feel that thing that made me go, yes, I can see why someone would want to devote their life to this game. I just couldn't feel that, and so I'm still waiting for it. The other question
But I would wonder on that I'd ask, I'd be like, oh, well, which of the current ones do you play that you do feel that hook? Because for me, it's like, well, I don't play Call of Duty and Apex and all that just because of the sheer amount of commitment that you need to make to really hang and be any good at it. I used to like playing arenas though, which again is team deathmatch sort of, like team versus team deathmatch style, a little like Trials, right? So I liked it for that reason. And so if this has some of that, I mean, it already wins for me on that, especially with like the Destiny gun, Bungie gun feel.
Premium price for this. It's launching with 6 runners, 3 maps at launch, and 1 extra map in Season 1. Is that enough content to justify the price tag? Is this experience compelling enough to pull people away from alternatives?
And we don't know the
many
price
of
tag
which
yet,
are
I don't
free?
think, right?
Bungie says they want to build this game in collaboration with their community, and I fully support that ambition. But if that's the case, then I don't think you should be charging the community an entry fee. My gut tells me that charging a box price for this is a very, very bad idea. But I would be delighted to be proven wrong on that front when Marathon launches later this year.
To that, I always say, like, look, I fully support free-to-play games for the amount of players that you need to populate and make a game fun. But I also completely disagree with the idea that when a game looks like Call of Duty and Apex, because those games are free, and they're, Battle Royales actually is what they're based on, including Fortnite. It's a very different setup, and it's like, well, this should be free too. Like, that's not a good reason for me. And all I really mean by that is, like, as a critic, it's important for me to make that distinction, because I think if we just keep telling people, why isn't Mario Kart World free then? Like, I don't understand, like, the difference almost, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Mario Kart is a different beast, but like we get into this slippery slope of like, why is any game pay for? It's like, well, this is like, it's not multiplayer. And like it's a slippery slope, and there's way too many games that in other words, I love free stuff, but I do not like that free games want your time and they want to grift you into the store, and like the whole setup is all about how they're going to grift your time and get you into the store. And the whole thing is in player engagement. I'm just tired of it. I just want to, I want to go in for a 30-minute run and pay for it. And that's what it's about. But yes, like I need the players in there. And so, that is a delicate balance for sure. And I always agree on that. But the idea of like, just straight up, like when you say there's 6 runners, there's going to be 4 maps, including the season 1 entry fee and all that. Sure. We don't know what the price is yet. So you can't really answer, is it worth it? But I don't have any problem with you paying for that. Again, if you're not trying to grift my time, like that's why I don't like Destiny. It's like trying to get, and you have to pay for that too. But, I just want us to go back to focusing on like, this game is fun. You should buy it. You should check it out. And it's got to be the right price. It's funny, I haven't reacted to videos and previews and stuff in a while. I was co-streaming this on YouTube, but I'm just sitting here thinking, only because of YouTube, I'm like, man, there's all this like licensed music that now is in here that you just have to like constantly be aware of if you're on YouTube. All right, let's turn that down, speaking of which. How? What's going on, man? You get to take a look at this at all yet? Thank you so much for 71 months. Prime subbing. You can license these. Thank you so much for that Prime sub. Yeah, did you get a look at this? If you have any time to respond, feel free. But if not, no worries. But yeah, it looks very much like Apex Tarkov Extraction. More action, more accessible. So I think it looks fun. You thought it was Apex at first. Yeah, they definitely share some things. So what's going on, man? Thank you again so much for 71 months. Brian saying it's what the market decided. It doesn't matter how quality the game is. If people don't want to pay for it, it'll fail. Well, yeah, but the problem is that free-to-play games exist that, let's say Balatro is as addictive as frick, and they're like, well, it's just free with microtransactions, like, that is just the state of things, but that doesn't mean that games should be free just because, like, the competition is free. It dictates it. I'm not disagreeing. It's just, that's exactly what I'm saying the slippery slope is. I like free games, though, as long as they are not trying to take my time. So, like, yeah, I don't care how Bungie monetizes this. As long as I get more content, I get more games like this, if I like it, and that it's a fair trade of, just like what the game is. But I don't want to play free games where, like, you also play free games where you're like, yeah, it's still, like, coming together, like, so. You thought you saw Ash? Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, Void is like Ash. They are, aren't they? But yeah, I think it looks good. Frankly, I'm already exhausted, I guess, by the is it free? How much does it cost discussion? I honestly, like if the player base is there, I really do not care at all about that discussion, because right now it's a matter of, is it any good? And yeah, I think that they need to have like an alpha and a beta or whatever, that of course it's free for that, right? Like Call of Duty does that all the time. It's like, you like Call of Duty? Good, check it out. And if you want to play, it's $60 or whatever it is. Granted, they include a campaign, but nobody plays the campaign anyway. But let's see. Skip that song. Well, Bungie did not confirm it doesn't cost $70, I don't think, right, Brian? But Paul Tassi was saying that he had it on good authority that it was nowhere near that. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a $39 or $49 game. with like $10, $11 season passes, whatever they do, you know? I don't know. You were one of them campaign heroes for COD? Nice. Oh, Marathon Twitter confirmed it? Oh, nice. Thank you. Well, let me catch up on that. Let's see what they say. Oh, yeah. An hour ago, they said Marathon will be a premium title. Marathon will not be a, quote, full price title. Full priced. What is a not full price title? So, like, if I'm trying to translate that into Bungie terms, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, is Witch Queen and Final Shape, like, are they full price titles? Because they were, God, I can't remember now. Weren't they 50 base? Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if it was a, you know, I don't know how much is in it, how fun it is, the depth of it. Again, talking about the price of a game that you've never played, it's silly. Like, I mean, they absolutely have to address it in this genre, and especially coming off the backs of like Concord and the way that Destiny was handled. Like, of course, they have to address it. But it's one of the worst parts about talking about games like this, or any game. You know, people do it all the time. And as many of you know, if you've watched here a lot, I'm like, dude, like, they're like, oh, dude, is this game worth $70? I'm like, I don't know. What are the last games that you've played and how much did they cost? Because like 9 times out of 10, somebody names something or how much they've spent on a game. And I'm like, the way that you rate fun is completely different than I would. Like, some people like you know, they like paying for how much Destiny costs. So like, I think it's totally worth a season pass, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to do bounties. It interferes with my fun, you know, or whatever. So it's definitely about the gameplay. And obviously, yeah, eventually there's like, was it worth it? But end of the day, good reviews, you know, that I like anyway. And what you really should look to is people who talk about the gameplay, and that's their focus. And then you figure it out from there. And understanding how much there is to enjoy in there. You decide how much you're willing to pay for it. Your fun is vault management? Ugh, yeah. Managing stuff in Tarkov is not super fun either. I expect this to be a little more straightforward, a little easier, so. Hey, there's some more weather. Finally seeing a little more intensity on that stuff. That's good. Well, it looks cool. I mean, do you guys have thoughts in chat of like what you're seeing? Or is anybody like stoked? Kind of needs to be sold on it, needs to wait for a beta, needs to see more, you know, what is it? Haven't heard too much from y'all. Let's see. See what responses are. Let's actually read some of the, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read some responses on that question about, or what we were talking about, right, with the pricing. So somebody's like, I got $90, I'm not afraid to use it. Have you considered adding a team deathmatch mode? Better to spend your $80 here than an $80 10-year-old remastered game from Nintendo. $40 game, $40 for the game and $20 per skin, aka blue. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, they're saying like get a blue skin for $20. I mean, it's probably going to have plenty of that, and I'm sure that that's how they'll, you know, yeah, they'll probably be at $39. I actually do think, you know, the more I think about it, it'll be $39.99. Season pass will be $10, you know, but then there will be Apex, you know, $12, $20, you know, skin packs or whatever. And they'll probably be unleashing that more so, you know, than we've seen in Destiny. But I would expect them to roll it out slowly at first. Just kind of like test the waters. But I don't know. Finch is like, oh yeah, reminder, Helldivers was $40 and had day one battle pass. Yeah, that you bought for $10. Exactly. $50, take it or leave it, and release collector's edition. Yeah, it seems, you know, just scrolling through, there's quite a few people in that, you know, of course. As soon as you say it's not a premium price title, I think a lot of people are assuming it's 40 bucks or less, sounds like. And yeah, Helldivers, it actually is a good point. They certainly set a precedent from PlayStation as a publisher on that. All right, interesting. What else? Brian says, looks fine to me. I don't see anything that makes it look like stand out from what's currently available other than the style. What would you say that it most looks like that is currently available, Brian? That the gameplay you think it looks like? Mr. Elu, I definitely think it looks interesting. Something I'll give a try when there's a beta, but like everything, I gotta play it. See if it's something I'd be into. Yeah, I mean, that's a great perspective for sure. Play it and decide. Tattoo wants to see more of the story. Oh, really? What drives me to keep jumping into the game and want to instruct? Oh, that additionally. I'm surprised to hear you say story, though. I thought you'd be all about, like, the loot and... But yeah, like, meaning if there's good, like, story and you get a faction story, let's say, and you're doing bounties for them, like, that's something that appeals to you, huh? Ray says, I've only been awake, hold on.
Will it show on the map where we
Uh-oh.
go from here?
Uh-oh, this is not... What happened? Did I just, did I switch between two screens? Yeah, whoops. Looks fairly generic. It's funny, I don't think it looks generic at all. It does look a lot like an Apex, Call of Duty, Destiny mashup. Presentation was decent. This is a lot of the same type of footage that you'll see, though. No, there's no price SCJ, sorry. I'll just call you CJ. It is CJ, sorry. CJ, they said it's not a premium price title. So everybody's pretty much, I think we can all assume it's going to be less than $50 at the moment. I think there's a good chance it will be $40 with the $10 battle pass, like Helldivers. As long as they're not doing the Helldivers thing of locking loot behind those season passes, dude, I'll lose my cool if they do that nonsense. They're like, dude, Helldivers made so much money from like a special grenade type. I couldn't imagine they would be able to do that though, since it's like an extraction where you're able to earn that stuff, you know? So, I'm trying to play some music in the background here, folks. Apologies. I don't think they would, Tato, because like it just wouldn't work. Now, like once I said it out loud, I was like, yeah, I don't think it'll be that at all. It's just season passes can be all skins, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pull a Destiny though, and they give you a couple like things for your backpack, you know, like, you know, some meds, and I don't think that's unreasonable. But I do think you got to be very careful about setting a precedent for that. I'd prefer none of that's in there. I would want it to be all indie. This looks really nice right here. To me, this game shines pretty nicely when it's not in the outdoors. I'm definitely curious to see and hear. Here, let's actually listen to this section.
Offering a solo queue option where everyone drops in solo. They said that when they tried that in the past, it would lead to everyone just playing really stealthily, not wanting to be the first to make noise so they wouldn't get targeted by everyone else. I thought that was a really telling response because it said a lot about how Bungie wants you to play Marathon.
Oh, you can close the door.
I don't think they want you to hunt other players as much as they want you doing activities that may see you collide with other players. But like I said, those collisions aren't happening often enough right now. I think a lot about Hunt Showdown. Now, that is a game that has figured out its loop. Drop onto a map with another player, you hunt for clues that point
I always wanted to play Hunt.
You head to that location and set up for the boss. You fight the boss, making a huge amount of noise while doing so, while other players would have also had the same clues pointing to that location. Then when it's time to harvest the boss's essence, there's a great pillar of dark energy above the location, making you visible to the entire map, Then when it's time to extract that essence and escape the map, you are literally marked for all players to see so they can hunt you down or just be waiting for you at the extraction point. Hunt's extraction loop is so good that as I explain it to you now, I wish I was playing Hunt. Marathon does not have the equivalent of that yet. It has almost everything else it needs to be a successful extraction
I
shooter.
mean, it's interesting. I always wanted to play Hunt. That sounds fun. But like, if I hear Ralph say that, I'd be like, but that just means you don't like Tarkov, because Tarkov is not that. And so there's tons of people who love that model. I'm not saying I've never played the Hunt. I've always wanted to. Maybe it's time. But yeah, like, again, like, that's just where it may be preference. I haven't played this, so I have no idea. You may be spot on, right? But when I hear that, tell me if I'm thinking about it wrong. But I'm like, he just is describing that he doesn't really like the Tarkov loop. Tarkov is way more insane, obviously, than this will ever be.
Missing
But
that one thing. The loop is not yet closed. That's not the only thing missing from Marathon right now, though. I do think these runner kits are really basic to the point where I'm like, come on, Bungie, what else you got? This is the studio that designed the Strand and Stasis subclasses. And here, the kits are like, ping nearby enemies once every 30 seconds, or pull up a shield that can block a little bit of damage, or go invisible for a few seconds. Honestly, I'm just
all of
gonna
that
say
is so
these
Destiny.
kits are tactical and balanced, but they're really boring and generic, and I think Bungie can do way, way better than this. Story is another big gap right now. Bungie were very upfront about the fact that they've built the narrative framework for Marathon. They haven't written the actual narrative yet. It's giving vanilla Destiny, and while I don't think it's fair to jump to conclusions on this stuff, I would have loved for this preview to have had some narrative hooks already in place so that I could start getting excited about this new universe. I know all of this sounds really doom and gloom, so
I personally don't care about the universe stuff yet.
important takeaway.
I'm always about the gameplay, obviously. Yeah, and the gameplay loop.
Marathon is 5 months from launch. It's about to get its first public alpha. A lot can change in 5 months, and it's possible that at least some of the issues I've spoken about
I like the way it looks on the interiors a lot.
Furthermore, it's possible that all the solutions to my problems with Marathon are already in the game, but I just wasn't able to see them because one day with a game like this is not enough to be able to fully size it up. Maybe runners do become more interesting to play as you unlock more stuff in the progression tree.
Yeah, and like I was already going to say that. I did want to take away from, like, I think they're all fair critiques, right? But like, I've been at these hands-on events many times. You're loaded up on caffeine, maybe didn't even have breakfast, and then you just sit down and you could try to consume so much at once. And they sort of spoon feed you a certain setup usually as well, right? Like, you've already got your backpack. There's no way to, my guess is, right, it's not like they were playing like log in, you've got nothing, experience the game. Like, because yeah, it's not what that is. There's no way to like easily do that. That's what a review eventually will be, and having days with it, presumably, if not weeks. And so even in a closed alpha, you know, you're not going to experience that the same thing as like when I tried out Tarkov, right? Everything was on the table. And then you even had like meta of what Tarkov was at that time starting to develop and like what people like to do. And they had, you know, whatever, redesigned the quests and made those things better. And holy crap, look at this guy, Arcane Individual. What's up, dude? How's it going, man? We got all the old Trials and Destiny friends coming out, dude. Arcane, good to see you out there somewhere, man. Thank you for the gift sub. Appreciate you. I hope you're doing as well as can be, man. Good to see you. Yeah. The only one I haven't seen today is Click. I mean, and Toxic. I mean, I don't know where Toxic is. It's like a dad of like 4 kids now or something. Thank you so much for the gift sub, for supporting streamers, man. Hope you're doing as well as can be. So yeah, I mean, look, I think it looks good, but who knows? Yeah, I gotta play it.
Loop does work when you've got a larger, more
like exactly like, you know, this is where I cut him off. It's like, dude, like it is exactly it. Like he's even saying, I don't know, the loop didn't sell me. I like the Hunt, but he's probably played the Hunt in full release in depth, you know, and now he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I didn't really have the time either. So I'm not saying he's wrong. A closed alpha is not going to answer all these questions, is my point, right? Which I'll be able to participate in. We'll be under NDA. I assume they'll let us talk about it like loosely, but they'll have some sort of constraints some people won those giveaway codes that may have already read what that NDA was.
Content creators playing it for the first time. But even with all of those concessions, I still have this like gut feeling that Marathon will launch one way, and then it will.
But one big thing again that I would stress is like, man, just I haven't heard it, but there can be no delay between your bullet and their skull, you know, and you cannot have like a bunch of server issues and like, so that's where, you know, I'll be very interested to see how they get this in order for launch and all that. But when I play games like this, I just cannot have like, you spend 30 minutes on an extraction, and if it's like lagging out or I'm like, no dedicated servers. Apparently Tarkov doesn't have it. I guess for the style of game, you know, maybe. There's only 18 people in there at max, and even then you're not engaged with 18 people at once. So yeah, maybe it's not as big of a deal, but there's a lot of like world stuff to sync, and I don't know. Prince, will you be able to trade loot with other players? Do you think they're worried about people selling loot IRL? I don't know that you can get into like, or no, yeah, no, I don't think they're worried about it. Because like if you want to have someone on your team and give them stuff, it'll be against TOS. But I don't think there'll be, I don't know, what happens in Tarkov? You know, are people really paying somebody like $100 to be like, yo, can you drop me that gun? Like I think it's a good point. But yeah, there's nothing that stops you from just giving someone, I assume, stuff from your backpack. Like, just how it is. But that's not like instant win.
2026, we'll be on like version 3 or whatever. Anyone who's played Destiny knows what I'm talking about. Bungie build.
And yeah, bro, I didn't say it wouldn't have connection issues at launch. We don't know, but launch and long term are two very different things, obviously.
That's what they've done for the past decade.
But I was hinting at,
to be the same here.
You know, doing their betas and all that. Like, it's always tricky with these games.
To say, I love Bungie and I love their games, and I would love Marathon to be my go-to.
I like the way this game looks in the interiors a lot.
I kind of like hearing that Bungie planned to build this game with the help of their community. But I
like that it's very
think we can
vibrant.
say we're going to build this game with the help of our community while still charging a premium upfront price tag for it. It's like you got to pick one. Either the game is built and you charge for it, or it isn't, and you welcome people in for free so they can help do some of the work for you. Stepping back from that,
that's the thing I don't totally understand. Like, if it's gonna have, was it, how many maps was it? Was it 4 with a season pass? That's not unusual in this universe. Like Tarkov launched with a couple maps, and I don't know how fun they are to replay, though. You know, that's obviously a big question.
there's a simple reality that a game like this needs a vast player base to be successful. The psychological barrier to entry for the extraction shooter genre is huge, because your average player is not going to love the idea of paying $40 or whatever for a game where they lose all of their best loot when they have a bad run, and then they lose absolutely everything they've collected every few months. This is a hardcore genre, and if Bungie are serious about welcoming in the type of player who doesn't typically play this game, then I don't think an upfront price tag makes sense. You just need to get these people in, and then you can, you know, sell battle passes or cosmetics or whatever. And that's setting aside how...
Yeah, I really dislike that. I understand it's predicated on the idea that it's not going to have enough players because it's not free, but like that's not a reason that it should be free. Just Call of Duty manages. Call of Duty, of course, is Call of Duty, and there's no comparison. But let's say it's $39.99 and it's got 3 maps and 4 classes and it's tons of fun. There's no problem with that. But there's no way around this conversation. That's the bigger issue, is this constant elephant in the room that if you make a PvP game, then it should be free. And I'm not saying there's enough in this game. I'm just saying instead the conversations always start on the opposite side, where it's like, oh, it's PvP, so therefore it should be free, right? And it's like, Rainbow Six isn't, or is Rainbow Six free now though? But it's an old game. Did Rainbow Six go free to play yet? Maybe it did a while ago. Is Siege free to play now, or is it? How much does Siege cost? Siege is $20 now. Is that right? Okay. Yeah. So Siege is not free. But that's the thing. One thing I would say to this as well, that was on my mind, is that I do think in addition to like the beta and trial periods that they'll probably have like free to play weekend or something like that where you can log in, but especially with this type of game, you're going to lose all your stuff. And we've seen them do that type, to a degree at least. There's free modes in Destiny. So I would just expect that to be part of this. I don't know why they wouldn't do that, to sort of blend the idea that, it's a free to play game. Sorry, it's a premium game. It's $40 or whatever. But that, yeah, they might just be like, oh yeah, and this weekend though, there's tons of people that are just playing for free. They got to keep cheaters out too. I mean, it's going to be a huge conversation. So. Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice that there's so much footage out there. You can go to different creators, and it looks like they were able to capture their, unique footage, which is really nice. Ouch. Who else? Yeah, I guess we should look at Lupo. But he's been involved in the project. Is there? I mean, I definitely want to watch Lupo stuff, but I'm like, who else? There's a bunch of people who went up there.
Marathon's gonna really start to hum, but with it being absent, it's really difficult to get a sense of where Marathon is headed or where it might one day end up. I personally am.
Here's the other thing that I would say about the free-to-play discussion. I think Bungie and this game, from the looks of it, are in a very different situation where it really is. And it was always going to be with Bungie in particular. It was always going to come down to, is the game really good or not? Like, if the game's not good and people don't want to play it, then it's over regardless. But in other words, Bungie is and has always been focused on gameplay loops and just games in general, that it has to be really good and live up to their standards. And in other words, that if it's not, it will be free at some point. If it needs to be that. And I do understand that there's like windows but again, yeah, I hate the idea that people assume that it might even be a good game, but then they're like, well, if it's not free, I'm not playing it. It's like, okay, well then go play Fortnite, and that's absolutely something for Bungie and PlayStation to worry about, but
and I'm also okay with a game like this launching in a sort of like minimal viable product status, because I trust that Bungie will eventually.
Yeah, I do wish that one thing that I've brought up a lot though as well that I will say is that a company like PlayStation and Bungie are never going to release this and call it early access. I wait for the day that somebody comes out and they're like, oh, check it out. We're releasing early access. You get these free cosmetics as part of the early access. Blah, blah, blah. We're selling this many of them even. I don't know. And it's a certain price, right? That makes sense, whether that's $29.99 in that case. And then they sort of build and they're like, oh, we're in full release, now that it's May. And you missed that window. And they balanced stuff and they added this and that. And nobody's going to do that. But I think that's the other thing to worry about, though. If it's like, this is one thing that Ralph is covering, right? It's like, wait, we want to build this with you. We want you to pay for it. Early access does that all the time. It's because it's called early access. Nobody blinks. How much is Path of Exile, by the way?
Great, but I do think that
Weebles, if you sold Lemonade for $10, but Jimmy down the road is making the same thing for free, which would you choose? It depends. If they both taste the same, then of course I want free lemonade. Yeah, I'm not debating. Like, again, if you like playing Fortnite, I mean, I'm preaching to myself here, right? I'm not interested in playing Call of Duty. I got nothing against it. There's almost no PvP games that are free that I really want to sink my time into, mostly for the genre and format. But it's the investment as well. So there's plenty of good free games out there, but a lot of those games, what they want me to do is like this endless engagement loop. And in other words, I paid for Tarkov, and I don't know how much Tarkov costs these days, but if you get into Tarkov, it's totally worth it. I don't see why it's a problem, you know. Tarkov has evolved too and added a lot, but it didn't have that much in it at launch.
There are so many,
but there were fewer free
foundations
games
here
back
that make me
then.
Optimistic for the future, and if I was a betting man, I would bet on Marathon. But right now, I think it's just too early to be able to come to any definitive conclusions on it. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what Bungie has.
Okay, cool. Let's see if who else would we look at if. I mean, maybe Shroud has Marathon. I don't know. I don't think he went. Let me see. Marathon, hands-on. Weebles, I'm talking about live service free-to-play games that want you to, like DMZ, the way that it wanted you to just like grind stuff was like ridiculous. And I really dislike that we're just, I dislike games that are designed around live service and free-to-play combined together. Helldivers is not even free, but Helldivers is a great example. Obviously, Destiny has plenty of examples, but yeah, we should know what that is by now, right? I mean, that's the problem. There's too many of these games that are designed about the idea that it's free first. Second, it's live service. So how do we engage you in the live service as part of a free-to-play game to get you to spend money in the store? And that's what the gameplay is designed around, instead of it just being around like, hey, is this game fun? I was trying to find some other hands-on. Maybe we'll just do Lupo, I guess, and see if he's got something up. But yeah, how much is Tarkov? Escape from Tarkov is these days $50, yeah, $49.99. Let's see. So yeah, $50. Oh god. Let's see. I think you can buy the Hunt for $30 now, but it's been out for a long time. So yeah, I mean, it seems very obviously it's going to be in the $40 to $50 range. So I don't see that being a problem at all in terms of like conceptually what they actually, come out with in terms of how many maps and is there enough to do? Like, I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Let's see. I was going to look at Lupo, yeah. Lupo, hands-on marathon. Does he have a video up? Yes. All right.
Hey, y'all. It's time. The embargo is lifted. The doors are open. It is true. I went to Bungie and I played some more Marathon. This is, first off, this is not an ad. I just want to make sure it's super clear. I get to show you some of the highlighted moments of the footage that they let us capture, specifically on day 2 of this trip. And I've been involved with this game over the course of like 5 or 6 trips now, over the last 5 or 6 years. I think actually the first time that I had heard anything about it was 7 years ago. So take all that into account. Obviously, as a content creator, I can give my input and my responses and give opinions, but I'm not a developer. I don't know the ins and outs, the complexity of what they're doing, so just do me a favor, keep that in mind, okay? Probably wondering, what is Marathon? It is Bungie.
Yeah, I know Lupo, and he seems to be a pretty honest guy. I think that what I can say is, like, I know Lars personally, who you saw on the stage there, and I know Tocom, and I know people from the team, and even that, it gets in your head sometimes, like, so I can imagine, in other words, that if I'm giving them feedback and working with these folks, you're going to tell it how it is. And like, I actually have no reservations, but it's still like, there can be a sparkle in the back of your mind sometimes. And so it was good that he disclosed it, in other words.
He's take on an extraction shooter.
But I don't see why he wouldn't, like, because his whole thing with them is to say, this is how I feel about the game. Like, they want his feedback. So like, I don't think it would be hard for him to give that
series of games, a trio of games that Bungie made specifically for
at the time. I would say, obviously, since he knows so much about the game and what he's allowed to say at this point, etc., his video looks really good because he's got all these questions and chapters broken down. You know, I think this will be a good watch.
Got high hopes for.
I'm not going to watch it
potential of
all,
this game.
you know, but
I think that if Bungie sticks to what they do best while still embracing the hardcore nature of what extraction shooters or the player base for extraction shooters typically look for, I think they have a hit on their hands, and they definitely have a different aesthetic than I think any other extraction shooter out right now. I mean, when you see it yourself, they have an identity that I think stands out in a big way, and I had a ton of fun. Granted, it was just a day and a half roughly this time around. Only got really maybe 10 hours of playtime. I could see the vision that they have, and I desperately hope that it does well, just like any other game that I'm given the opportunity to go out and go check out. So thank you, Bungie, for that opportunity. But anyway, the story or lore follows the end of Marathon Infinity, in which you are a runner sent down to try and scrap anything that is left from the
what are runners, the weapon system. Let's see what he has a section on, like what he thinks Tarkov does well. Probably does some comparison in here. And will be repetitive. Let's see.
Will burn the player base out. And I told them that to their face. Yes, because my only fear over all of it is a samey feeling over time that will burn the player base out. And I told them that to their face. And I've always been honest with them. I do think that what they have here is something
that would be maybe a different problem, which is like, in other words, there's a lot of maybe questioning. People were talking about like, you know, will it be worth the price, etc. But let's say it's actually really fun, and we've absolutely encountered this in mini games. And then you're just like, I don't know, like there's nothing left to do. I don't really want to play another season. You know, I think that's the question he's presenting. There's a lot of pressure if this loop is really fun and you build up to a certain amount of power and then you wipe, take it away. Well, let's listen to him. But I think that's a nice problem to have. But it's a really good question. I mean, Apex has gone through this. I'm sure Warzone has gone through this. I don't think I've played enough Warzone to be an expert on it there, but all these games tend to. I mean, Fortnite has even gone through it. It's not fresh enough. I mean, all of these to keep a player base alive. I mean, that's something I guess. In other words, I'm responding to. I didn't really think about when a game is good and you're burning through it, or it's solid enough, but then there's just like you can't keep up with the pace. It can just die. Sometimes they come back later, etc. But Bungie is well aware of this. But Destiny PvP and Halo are two great examples of that actually as well. So I don't know that they can avoid that. I think having seasons and trying to maintain a game all year long is really rough. Yeah.
Will genuinely,
like, in other words, let me say that more clearly. Because every developer wants money and wants to sustain, etc., you're probably never going to have a game that's like, well, Marathon comes out in the fall, and then, you'll burn through a lot, but then next fall, another huge release. It's always going to be trying to chase its tail, and I do think that inherently, like all these games, like it is very difficult to do.
High in variety,
which burns me out. Yeah, like I don't like every season having a season.
Why we go back
to be quite frank.
Tarkov. I talk crap about that game all day. Y'all have watched for a long time, but at the end of the day, one of the things that it is doing,
I don't want to play
every raid.
So wait, before he comments on what Marathon does well, I will say you're talking to someone who, like, I don't want to play any of these games every month all year long, and that is the mistake in all of their design. And like I said, nobody's going to do it. I'd rather you come out for September, and man, I played so much Marathon. It was so good, hopefully, right? And then December came around, I had the holidays. Oh, dude, I've been catching up on my backlog. It's spring, I haven't even played. And then it's coming out with the new stuff this summer. I've been more than happy for these games. But I get, that's not what they are. That's not the people it's appealing to.
Feels just a little different. But I do have.
I hate living in one game all year.
To do what it needs to do.
Many people love that.
Player base engaged,
especially when they're free.
Seasonal process that they are planning on implementing. If they're following through with doing wipes and resetting the player base every X number of months or whatever, if that does come to fruition, like I really, really want it to, I think that's going to help a lot. and everything else that they have in store, which I don't specifically know what I can't.
So that's an interesting, you see the different takes, right? You have like IGN and I think Skill Up even, where they're like, I don't know if you're gonna wipe stuff, like, but someone who gets Tarkov, and that's what I was saying, if you've never played it, like that's the whole deal, is how powerful can you get in a season? And it is a little different than Diablo, where you do get power per round as well as across the whole season.
Quite honest with you, I don't want to break.
And then there's ranked
like
play.
That. But they have plans. They have really good long-term plans. And one thing I think you will see from Bungie out of the gate with this game versus what has.
Peg Cinema, sorry, are you still on YouTube, chat? Nobody was over there, so I got a little behind on that. I don't stream on YouTube as much, Peg. I apologize. If you are still out there, let me know. But I'll just answer it. Peg Cinema asked on YouTube, what do I think of the art style? Slightly underwhelming considering that first announcement trailer. It's way less shiny and there's way less fidelity in game, and I think people are feeling the fogginess of that. I think you also need to see it on, like this is all compressed and then compressed again or what, like they captured into a compression format. I don't even know if it was H.264, if it was like ProRes or DNX HD, right? And like IGN's footage actually looked really clean. They probably were in ProRes or, oh, we're not in 1440. Let's make sure we get that. But then it's edited and exported and re-uploaded. And so that whole process is, you're not really seeing what the game looks like.
It's taken us years to get from BSG with Tarkov and other companies is a roadmap. I think they will show you.
Yeah, and he's right about that too. Like they need to do, Destiny's had to do this, but by the time this game comes out, I mean, early access games have to do this. Especially in that they're selling it, they need to have a roadmap. And I think that is something Bungie does struggle with a lot.
Show you the plan so that nobody that looks at this and goes, is this just a cash grab? Is it really going to do well? I think they're going to put it in front of you. I hope they're going to put it in front of you to say, here's what we plan on doing. We're serious about making this.
Yeah, he's absolutely nailing it on that front. On the art style, by the way, like this game, if you haven't seen it, I think it shines on the interiors.
In raid. There's a number of different times that we're running around. We're pushing buttons.
Hold on.
We find a computer terminal.
There we go. Let's see.
It's either matte.
Yeah, like these like sort of
glossy.
classic
They're
Halo
really
Destiny looking moments.
A lot of the buildings,
like that to me, this looks so much like Bungie in those moments. So I really like the interiors, the sort of foggy, weathery outsides. I don't really know yet, but I think it looks good. I like it.
I think they did a very good job of giving you something that just feels.
What was he saying about raids there? Event system. We'll keep this game fresh. Was that it?
I think that's where their unpredictability from raid to raid is going to shine. Tarkov, sorts of stuff, and I think if they add in a plethora, a variety of those kind of events, I think that's where their unpredictability from raid to raid is going to shine. Tarkov doesn't have that, but what they do have to keep raids varied is extremely complex environments. One thing that Marathon, from what you're seeing here, and granted this is only one map, but a lot of the locations, the POIs.
Yeah, that look at an eye. He's seen those other maps.
One or two floors, maybe an underground. Otherwise, it's pretty open. There are a lot of good angles. There's a lot of good terrain to hide.
Yeah, we're only seeing one map in the reveal footage, which is.
If you look at like Reserve and
so it's
Tarkov,
tricky.
they have the underground. They've got multiple 3, 4, 5-story buildings. You've got a mountain to go up on top of. Even their more basic maps in Tarkov have vertical complexity and a lot of like sight lines to memorize and stuff like that. Marathon will have that, but it's going to be way more sparse. The reason I bring it up, I think in Tarkov, one of the things that makes the game play different every single raid, even if you're like beelining Shoreline right now to go to Underneath West, to the pool, to go down to Labyrinth, each run still ends up playing a little differently. This will have that too, because the unpredictable nature of other players. You're going to have a lot of opportunities for just natural, organic gameplay. But the map complexity, I think, is going to keep some of those engagements very similar from run to run. I'm hoping that the event system is the thing that adds in the randomness. Because my only fear over all of it is a samey feeling over time that will burn the player base out. And I told them that to their face.
So yeah, we already listened to that. What was the event system stuff though?
I think one of the systems that's going to keep this game alive longer than other extraction shooters have attempted to do, and that is both randomized and player-driven in-raid events. There's a number of different times that we're running around. We're pushing buttons. We find a computer terminal and activate it. It's got a number on it. It's going to scan all of the other terminals in the area and mark them for you. You go and you find the same number, boop, 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 hit the buttons on it, and that is going to make another event spawn on the map that you can go then push to and try and loot.
Oh yeah, we saw like where it called in like a cargo ship that had like stuff on it. So yeah, man, I mean, I think it looks good. Let me turn this down a little, and I don't see any reason, other than what they're getting at, which is like the depth of it and the replayability. But I do like all the DNA and stuff that I'm seeing. Because, yeah, like I like Apex, I like Tarkov, I like DMZ, I like Battle Royales to some degree, and this is not a Battle Royale, like I said, but it shares in a lot of that. And the more I thought about it, this is, in a way, like Bungie's stab at the Battle Royale piece, cut at the piece of the pie. And again, like, it's not a Battle Royale, but the games like this have that last team standing, depending on how you choose to play, or like solo players, right, up against like several teams. So it's interesting, and it's really good for that. So, I think you can look at this, and we know that Halo, I believe there was a team in Texas that was supposedly working on maybe a Battle Royale and Extraction for like a Halo. And I have to wonder, now that I really think about this and see it, if they were like, yeah, I've got friends that are working on that, and also PlayStation, and they probably even had word of it, that they're like, yeah, we don't want any part of that. Or I should say Xbox. Yeah, like Xbox, they probably know very well about this. So, meaning I have to wonder if Halo was, Halo Infinite or whatever they were working on was along these lines too. But yeah, so I think it's good. We'll see if it's actually good when we get our hands on it. I'm going to get my chance to play the closed alpha. Do you all have any questions, any big like news around it that you want me to chase down right now? I think I'll have to probably get offline and figure it out. There's a lot of gameplay out there though. That's really nice. We're seeing all the same map though. Just keep that in mind. I think there's going to be tons of commentary around, I don't know, yeah, it looks kind of like Apex, like you were just saying, and it's so hard to judge the incomplete picture. So I don't have, an opinion beyond the fact that I think the reveal went well. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and yeah, you just need to get more people like myself to be able to play it. I don't think that it's being rolled out though in any unusual, unfair way, right? Like, this is normal. We're gonna have a closed alpha. We had the press up, and we just have to see. Should Bungie worry about lawsuits from Apex? I don't see anything in here at all, like, for that to be a concern, Weebles. Like, are you saying the visual style? I don't think anything like that at all. I mean, the game's very different. Visually, it's not, there's no copyright infringement of any kind. This is, to me, this just looks like Halo and Destiny had a baby visually from, Bungie. So, yeah. And the fact that it's not going to play anything like Apex either, from the looks of it. Phil Spencer visited Bungie? Oh, really? Let me see what old Xbox P3 maybe said about that. What did Phil say? Oh, he just said Real's going to be worth watching. Did he say anything else on it? I'm sure Phil's known about this for a very long time. As much as they say Xbox was not going to buy them, I mean, I have no doubt they saw this and were discussing it at some point, so I'm sure Phil knew about it. he's a big Bungie Destiny fan as well. So I assume he's friends with like Pete and Jason and those folks. Yeah, I was just on X. I thought that yeah, he just said they got the visit though. That's what I just looked at it. He didn't actually say anything about it though, right, Point Blank? That's what I was looking at. Well, cool. I don't know if I have anything left to say. I'm trying to gauge if I like forgot to cover anything. You know, I guess one, is there anything I'm wondering about the game that's unanswered? Yeah, big outstanding questions. Of course, everybody wants to know the price and how much is really in there in terms of like, what do you get? Are they going to do special editions, you know, where, you know, you've got a situation where it comes with a backpack like of goodies where Tarkov did that, and like a bigger vault, right? And trunk, which again, something Tarkov did. I want to know, of course, yeah, a roadmap is a very good point from Lupo. Yeah, like, is this going to turn from 6 runners into 8 by the end of next year, or is it going to be 12? I think they should just kind of set the tone, give people a sense of why should you even invest your time. So we'll see if they get to that. Obviously, we want to know when a real alpha people can sign up for and play at large is going to be, and then of course, you know, a beta, but you know, we're getting ahead of ourselves on that. And then I want to know different visual styles. Yeah, this is just like one map with a certain type of weather, and like, I hope that we're going to see like a number of different styles. Like if there is like a snow level, right? This one seems to be more like it could rain. Oh, my camera died. That's not good. What the frick? What? Now it's upside down. That's kind of scary, folks. My camera doesn't normally just die. Might have overheated or something, huh? Might have to check that. Jeez. But anyway, do they have different visual styles across the maps, or even big takes on like he was getting at? Is there like one level where it's like it spirals down underground mostly? And so I think that will help a lot if there's different play styles. So I'm just going through questions, things that come to my mind as I think about it. Yeah, are there different modes where it's not always a 30-minute extraction? I don't know if they'll be there yet when they just got to get this down. But what else? Yeah, of course, how many weapons and things there are to get? Like how many base weapons, how many mods? Like, so therefore, how many iterations of this is there going to be? How is cosmetics and stuff going to work, and like battle pass, and if that takes away from anything, especially with the visual style, because like right now everybody looks pretty cool actually, but are you going to run into a situation where, yeah, I hadn't even thought yet about upgrading your armor, or your skin, I should say, and like as you upgrade mods and stuff, do you see that visibly? I don't know. Did they talk about that? Like if I upgrade mods and stuff, will it be sort of visually apparent? I would assume that it is. But yeah, how do they, like if everything looks like this, are they really even going to have like skins? Or maybe they have like effects on things. We did see like Glitch, or someone had like that rainbow run effect. And so I don't know. No idea on that stuff. Things that I want to know. Yeah, is your vault size and the value of this. This will be the first game that Bungie does where you will potentially, depending on the amount of time you have, how much you can keep in your vault. That's just part of the way these games work. And like I said, are they going to have like a special edition where they just sell you a bigger vault? Or are they going to make everybody grind out the mission to do it? I hope that it's more that, actually. And then, yeah, I think lots more to think about. But so, yeah, honestly, there's just like a lot we have to learn. And of course, just get your hands on it and like, how does it feel? But it looks good. Honestly, the gunplay looks nice. Like the more I watch it, you know, it's not like it looks stiff. I haven't really got a sense of like the different guns though, and the different like bullets and effects and the grenades. Like I don't know yet without playing it and how much variety we're gonna see there, but we're looking forward to it. I'm not the biggest PvP player these days, but I do like extraction shooters. I totally have my time in the sun with them. Like I got into DMZ quite a bit, and even that was pretty rough, sort of. I think it was considered a beta or early access even to some degree because they knew it was a bit of an experiment. So I certainly like this, and I like Apex Arenas, and I like Trials way back in the day, and I liked, you know, Halo and stuff. So it'll be very interesting to see this from Bungie for sure. So, and yeah, honestly, everybody's talking a lot about the visual style. I mean, I love that it's not, man, it's getting really bright out now. I love that it's not, you know, like a hardcore in the jungle or forest extraction shooter look or anything like that. So DMZ, I don't know if it died. I think it had some on and off periods unique, but DMZ's problem in Call of Duty was they just took like Warzone maps, you know, and we're like, oh, and also now you're extracting. Like it kind of worked, but it's just like they needed a custom mode, you know. The best part of DMZ was the labs. You got a special card, and going into the labs, like that's what you wanted DMZ to be. This looks to have, you know, closer to those moments, I guess I would say more often. All right. Well, dang, it's getting bright in here. Probably we'll call it and come back to it later. I wish I could say I was playing more later, but again, there's a closed alpha coming up later this month. I think April 23rd. The game comes out on September 23rd, so really just June, July, August. Technically 4 months, but I'd say they got 3 months to wrap this up and get this in really good shape. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Let me know though, if any questions to answer. We might have got an ad break, so let me know if I'm missing anything. Decision, unique technique. Make sure to turn on all my stuff for later here. Yeah, it was weird with the camera dying. It's concerning. Might have just overheated, which that camera's getting old. That's gonna suck if that camera dies. That would be bad. Toe, have a good one, man. It's good seeing you. Hope everything's going as well as can be. Point Blanc, hope you're having a good evening. GG's unique technique, decision. Actually, if anybody's heard from other folks, actually, I'll wait till people get back from an ad break to ask this last thing. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Brian. Dishwasher all over again. Don't even. No, it's the oven. It's the oven. I was going to ask before I went, was anybody popping around? Have you heard from anybody else out there in the Destiny or no, just content creator community? Like I gleaned that Lupo's been on it for a while, so he obviously likes Bungie games and he likes Tarkov, and I think he definitely wants that in between, but he's worried, like, will it have the staying power? Will there be enough maps, a roadmap, etc.? All good questions, but it seems like he likes it. Definitely seems like it's fun. Someone like Skill Up was like, yeah, it seems okay, but it's not like hooking me yet, but hard to say in an environment where it's just a playtest. But didn't know if you've heard from anybody else out there. We'll have to look around, talk about it later. Yeah, no problem, Marker. Congrats. I think you won one of the codes there, so enjoy it. Hopefully I'll get more in the future for future alphas and whatnot. So we will have a lot more to learn about. So I guess I'll pass the love on. Thanks to Miss 5000 Watts as well for that raid and passing on that love. But I'm going to go get, I guess, something to eat and then figure out what's next. All right. See you later, Benny. Have a good evening. We'll see you in the morning, maybe. I'm going to run those end credits, and yeah, we'll find someone to host, I guess. Okay? That it? All right, folks. End credits coming at you. I'll be closing down a couple things on my end. Be up for a little bit. If I miss something, I'll try to catch you over the microphone while we run these end credits. All right? Thanks for coming by. I'll see you next time, which will be later tonight probably. So check back, set your live notifications. Oh, I'll leave the socials and stuff in chat here as well. All right, everybody. See you next time. Peace.